What's up, good people? Welcome to the CP Time Sphere. We are in here. Let me do some preliminary mic checks. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, we're about to get this thing started. I haven't even sent the link out to Mr. Fantastic, but it is on the way. It is on the way. Let me get a few things squared away. I keep saying I'm going to do better at getting this thing started on time, but I'm still struggling, but let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm about to roll the intro whenever I find it, wherever it's at. Gotta go digging through the archives to find my stuff. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Make sure you hit that like button that lets everybody know you're here so we can get the party all the way started and get this thing all the way jumping. I see a lot of people made it on in. I did scan a funny comment that I will before I roll the intro. Soul Provider said, Bernard, these should be called 7-on-1s with Fantastic. I like that. It could turn into 7-on-1 on any given show. It could be 7-on-1. So yeah, you absolutely right on that one. But we about to get this thing started. I'm about to roll the intro, then send out the link while the intro is rolling. So yeah, be patient, bear with me, and we about to get it popping. We are about to get this thing going. You know, Fantastic always bring the heat. We know that. We understand that. My camera crooked. My camera is crooked. And that is a problem. So I got to figure out how to fix that while on the air. That's going to be difficult. That is going to be difficult. But I got to fix that and see what happens. But without further ado, let's get this thing rolling. I'm having all kinds of struggles.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali, You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
Unmuted. Fantastic should have the link, and I should be unmuted. Push 1 in the chat if you can hear me, even though I'm sure you can. I'm doing the little double check right there. Okay, cool. All right, and I just saw Fantastic down in the back chat. So we are all on board, fully on deck, ready to go. Shout out to those that made it in bright and early. The nigga down there drinking a big ass gallon of water. Shout out to those that made it in bright and early. Aaron B in the building. The Mac the trucker was good. He says, "What's good, everyone? Salute to you, brother." But nah, it's been a great week in the manosphere. We got panel arc 2 days in a row. Yeah. Shout out to Michael Ross with the first super chat. J3 in the building. Mr. Negative, the Negative Man says, "I think he's on to something." I didn't know what he was talking about when he suggested this topic, but I figured it out this morning. I was like, oh, I see where he's going with this. So this should be interesting. Keith Wisdom, he said, if you pay 100%, your woman should turn over her paycheck to you. That's the problem. Most women keep their checks and do whatever they want with no actual accountability. The man has no say with her moolah. Degmatic, you've been in the building more than a few times. Hope I'm getting your name right. Shout out to you. Eric B in the building. Mr. Albert in the building. What's going on? We got Spliff Spark. My kid's been down here fucking with my camera, bumping my camera. My shit crooked, and it's just got to be crooked all day. It's darker in here. It's the same lighting, but one of them must have touched something that turned my shit ain't looking right. But whatever. I'm a little upset. Shout out to Soul Provider. Skipping a few. Body Thug, Rock Killer. I saw Melody. I saw Unreasonable Man. I'm trying to work my way down to the super chat right there. Shout out to you. And shout out to everybody that made it in the building today. But without further ado, about to bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Fantastic in the building. What's going on?
Yo, what up, man? What's going on?
What's up? You came with a topic that I know gonna be fire, gonna rub a few individuals the wrong way, but I do believe that a lot of people gonna be on board with you with this topic. But before we get into it, damn, we already got 145 in here, so we probably should just dive right into the topic. But I'm just gonna real quick mess with you a little bit. How you feel about LeBron about to win his 5th MVP? You got to win his.
He's not winning the MVP, bro.
Yeah, he got it in the bag. Size him up for your boy Kobe gonna have 5 rings like Kobe.
It's gonna either be. Oh, you talking about championship? Or you talking about
both? He go regular season MVP and the championship.
I can't go against the team. Like, if we win another championship, great. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it, but he's not winning on MVP, bro.
I thought he'd never win another one. He having an MVP season, though. Definitely having an MVP season. And I'm slow, and I'm just not realizing that the Mr. Fantastic 824 is 824 because of those Kobe numbers. I didn't even realize. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even realize that. I just realized that today.
You know what's crazy? I just put Mr. Fantastic at first, but when I had Mr. Fantastic, nobody could find me. The only thing that would come up would be Mr. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let me do it or something. So, I put both of the Kobe numbers on there. That separation.
Right on. So shout out to Melody in the building. Said Salute Bernard Riley, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. She need to add another name to her name, so that way she could be found if she wants people to find her. Because you can't type in Melody, ain't nobody gonna find that. Sort of. But anyway, just a suggestion thrown out there. But what made you come up with this topic?
Well, man, appreciate you first off, man, for having me on.
No doubt.
But a couple of things, bro. This whole if you don't pay 100% thing, you broke or you did. So this is something that only was, certain men do and all these other things, And we had this discussion like a while back, but I never really delved into it. But now that the high value man thing is picking up, and I keep hearing this heard. I'm in this for the aspect of the men's aspect of it. And somebody who's done it. I've been there, done that. Okay. Even though I wasn't a quote unquote high value 6-figure man at the time, I've been a dude that's had to spend 100% of everything, bro. And it is not fun.
Been there, done that.
You said, yeah, exactly. You said the same, and it's not fun. It's not appreciated, and it's not worth it. Because all at the end of the day, especially if you're in a marriage situation, just like Russel Wilson, you give all of this stuff, and then you're going to have to pay on the back end too. Another thing, man, this isn't the 1960s or even the 70s or anything, previous to this. There's a reason why they say household income. Household. That means for the most part, two individuals need to work for not only for you to be comfortable financially, but also it's a fail safe, because hey, people lose jobs every day, B. People get fired every day, B. People get laid off every day, B. So the whole household income aspect of it is, if one person were to lose their job, you have someone else in the household that's able to pick that up, because lo and behold, we especially found out here just earlier last year from the alcoholic flu or whatnot, that a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah,
exactly. So if you're 100% dude and you're the only person working, that pretty face, them big titties, and that fat ass that's not gonna do you no benefit, bro. So even and that's the highest of the high of individuals or whatnot, what have you. So even as a high value man, all right, you living in your high value house, got your high value car, and you lose that high value job. Now what? She ain't finna get out there on the blade and sell that that high value cat for you to make no money. You don't want to do that anyway, because that's your old lady, or that's your woman, that's your wife. So by all means, man, just doing that is extremely simpish and very bad advice for any man to do for a woman, just based off of what? Love don't pay the bills, looks don't pay the bills. Again, we live in a capitalist society, okay? And everybody that's dealing with you, like I said, that also counters the thing. Well, what are you bringing to the table? Well, hey, again, if you're just beautiful and you're just fine, and just say another, hey, I can rent that for a night. I might chill with it on a weekend or something like that. But as far as like, I'm going to take care of you. Children are made to be taken care of, not adults. So if a woman's going to be on your plan, that woman needs to be contributing. And in a capitalist society, one of the major ways she needs to be contributing is some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to be financially.
All right. So what about, the concept that I still believe in, a man is supposed to provide. It's a double standard that most men accept, that if you see a couple, if the man haven't worked in the last year, he a bum ass, trifling, couch surfing, hoboing dude. If the woman hadn't worked in the last year and the man is taking care of everything, that's still a normal relationship. With the way a lot of people think about that. And I get that, and I understand that. Now let's extrapolate it forward to you're talking about this woman, y'all together, whether y'all married, state sanctioned or not, y'all having kids. You the man in that situation. This is your woman. You married a young woman. She showed up with no kids, body intact. She in her youthful prime, and that's your woman. She's popping out your babies. Obviously, in that situation, well, maybe not obviously. You would obviously, but I'm assuming you would obviously understand. Yeah, man should be knocking out 100% everything in that situation.
Well, hold on. Nah, it all depends. You gotta get a little deeper than that, because
all right, again, she had a baby. 1 year. I mean, let's just say 2 years in. She had a baby. 2 years later,
was she working before these 2 years or no?
She was working before. She was working during those 2 years.
Okay, go
popped
ahead.
Popped out a baby. After that, so that's 9 months when she was pregnant, and then she like a year and a half after that, she had another baby. So that means she got a 1.5-year-old and pregnant again, and then 2-3 years after that, another kid. You wouldn't expect that the man to be working, paying 100% of the bills in that situation, or no?
Well, no, during the time she's pregnant, of course, yeah. But I mean, first off, we definitely finna do some family planning here because the more kids you have, I think is what, 200, a quarter mil per kid over 18 years, right? Something like that.
Them numbers seem funny to me. I haven't crunched them, but that's what they say.
That's on average.
I don't feel like my kids are that expensive. I don't.
Over 18 years, bro.
Okay. All right. That's what they say. I rock with it.
Over 18 years, that's about right. But that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so we pretty much had so it's a lot of factors, man. At the end of the day, the thing is this. I'm not about paying a chick just for her, you know, being pretty and having some good box or whatnot, what have you. Of course, things are gonna have to be adjusted, and I've been there too, as to where the ex started working and whatnot, what have you. She had the kid. She was out for the time. Of course, they had the kid and all these other things. But another big thing too is that she had to go back to work too early because, like I said, at the time, my income wasn't enough to cover everything. So that's why I'm trying to. If you're up there, of course, you're on some Russell Wilson, NBA. You're the 1%. Yeah, you don't really have those issues and problems. But again, that's the 1%. So for the most majority of the men, even if you're at six figures, you're making right at six figures, depending on where you are. Again, you're going to have a lot more cushion, but you start bringing babies and things into the situation. You know what I mean? It is what it is. What a lot of people end up doing is the wife won't go back to work, at least for the child's like most formative years, especially like, the 1 year, 2 years, possibly 3, because daycare costs more than it would for her going to work. So that's something where you have to balance and do the math and pretty much, figure out what the net is, net gain or net loss of her working versus her staying at home with the kids. So ultimately, like I said, for me, man, yeah, I mean, you choose to have them babies, or we choose to have them babies. There's going to be something that's planned, you know what I'm saying? And that time will be allocated for you to stay home and, of course, settle in with the kids, bond and do all those things. But eventually, yeah, you're going to have to go, like, there are very, very few housewives for a reason in 2020. Very few. And even furthermore, like I said, man, I had to teach my ex how to cook and how to do all this stuff. She clean because she's like a germaphobe, so that wasn't no problem. But, as far as, like, women knowing how to cook, women, willing to rub
Your ex was taking that Ciara 7 advice. Burn the food on purpose so you won't have to cook for them. That's what she
was never one around now, but she was what?
She was hitting you with that Ciara.
Nah, man, she didn't, bro. She couldn't. She all she could do was boil hot dogs, man. I got her in there though, but
wait, hold on a second. Let me get the super chats. Melody says, but now Riley, give me a name, please. I don't know. I would come up with some stripper name, but you for real. You got to come up with 2 names, like porn stars do that. That's that's the thing where porn stars, they always got 2 names because you just type one name into the search engine, anything will come up. That's why it's like Alexis Texas, Vanessa Blue. You just can't go with Vanessa, anything come up. Vanessa Blue, you're gonna get her. So yeah, you gotta come up, gotta have a point. Jada Fire. They always go with 2 names for the search engine. It's easier to find. So yeah, you got to go with the porn star theory and just come up with just a second name to add on to that. That's all. I can't come up with it. You don't want the one that I'm gonna come up with. Grown man Bennett in the building says my granddaddy paid all the bills while my grandma took care of the house. Yeah, a goddamn shotgun house. Shout out to GMB. I saw some good super chats. Oh, I hope I didn't lose them. Yeah, I knew I just skated by ARCs. Didn't want to miss ARCs. A perfect storm in the building. He says, not when you don't have depth, live within your means. Right on. I think I know what part you're responding to. This should be interesting. He said, I appreciate Fantastic for defending my level of career success on his live stream yesterday, but Sir Tice SKC, F them both. Wow. What have they done with their lives? I have a college degree and earn a 6-figure salary. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I don't know the context of that, so I really can't comment on it. But shit. Nobody, the way I've always felt, just with my understanding of ARC's life, hey, he was out there in 20s and 30s in LA chasing a dream, trying to be an actor, screenwriter, and all of that. That's a hard life. You might end up homeless doing that. And he said he had some moments where he had to sleep in his car, but somewhere along the way, around I don't know if it was in his 40s or whenever he found his niche, his calling, so to speak, with writing about dating, relationships, and fucking. He found his calling and made a career out of it, and got a self-made, 100% self-employed career. Like I can't knock that. He chased his dream and he made a decision early that he didn't want to be working for nobody. And anybody who do that, stick to it until they make it where they trying to make it to. Hey, I respect that. So I don't know the context of them coming at ARC sideways on that, but anybody I see self-made, self-employed, doing it and living comfortable, and he has a wife at home that, if I understand it right, does not work. So average that and average that into the equation. Fantastic. But yeah, so I got respect for ARC in terms of that right there. Building his own stuff from the ground up. Lavelle Adams said, Mr. Fantastic, so was I. Let's see. I was making $42K per year and paying 100% of the bills. Been there. I'm officially divorced now and doubled my salary. Thank God. Been there too. Yeah, been there. Doug in the building. He said, I had a client that kept every receipt for his son up to 18. Total was $250K. Use a OCD mother if you keeping every receipt up to 18. And then,
hey, man.
And then that how do you do that? That would have had to come up to more than, because see, these is where the expenses come in. You got kids, you got to have a bigger house with more rooms in it, which means you paying more rent, which means your light bill a little higher, your water bill a little higher, your cable bill a little, whatever you paying, it's a little higher. That's where the expense come in with me. But as far as every receipt, I can't even imagine keeping up with all that. I couldn't even imagine that when, all right, we got fake Cynthia G in the building. I'm debating on blocking this one, but it is too funny. Say, Mr. Fantastic, do you believe I'm wrong for calling Future a Dusty while praising Russell Wilson's simping? Am I Dusty for being in? Okay. All right. Thank you, fake Cynthia G. See, that's why I am. I'm going to have to get that. I may have to block that one finally. Mr. Shane Vicious in the building. He says the Molly Maid and Escort combo package is less expensive and less stressful over the long run. Times have changed. Those TradCon values don't work now. That's something that I do want to get into, because I still, in my heart of heart, believe in traditional. Yeah. He said Melody Cakes. That's where I was going with it. Like Victoria Cakes, it's always two names. So you got to come up with a second name. Victoria Cakes, Vanessa Blue. Like they'll always be able to get typed in the search engine. Go type obsession in the search engine on X videos. You're not gonna find her, but you'll be able to find Vanessa Blue forever. You got to go with two names. Vanessa Blue, Victoria Cakes, Sister George. All right. Anyway, all right. What the fuck is that? Oh shit! I got a phone call. But what I'm about to get into, so it sounds like you are against just the. See, that's why you want to come up with it. That nigga said Melody Strokes. All right, here's the deal. It sounds like what you're really against is the notion of a man being a provider, and he having a woman that ultimately amounts to just a pleasure model. He got you're against the in-house pleasure model. You like, no,
that's 100% loss every time, man. That's 100% loss over 51% of the time. Look at what Dr. Dre's doing. Look at what Will Smith is doing. Again, I know homeboys that did the same thing and whatnot, what have you. So even if you want to call it anecdotal, the divorce statistics speak to it and all these other things. For you to pay a woman 100% of everything, that's my understanding. 100% mean 100%. Not she out there working and she's turning over her check to you or nothing like that. No, 100% means that she's not contributing anything other than, some good mouth and some good legs. And again, like I said, like the brother said in the super chat, I mean, you can go buy that for the temporary, not have that for a long-term legal binding fucking contract, because that's what a marriage is. All a marriage is a legal relationship to where you have, as the man, 100% of responsibility during and after the marriage is over. So that's setting up men for failure, to tell them that you should even have that thought in your mind. Like, look, man, especially like you said, if you're talking here and you're of the age. Shout out to the brother that gave the other super chat to say he's divorced, and you're in your 30s or hitting your 40s, and you're hitting your prime earning status. You're starting to get to, or you're at that 6-figure level. Why are you going to let a woman that didn't add anything to this? She didn't add anything to your success. She didn't add anything to your net worth, come in just off the strength of her being pretty. And again, you turn over the keys to the castle. And then, of course, especially we're talking about, some little young hottie thottie that's in her prime, and she knows for the time being that, okay, well, yeah, this dude's here, he's popping, he got this, that going, whatever. I'll be taken care of. I'm gonna get in with him and be his girl or be his wife. And then once a new better thing comes along, well, I'm out. And if I'm married, I'm gonna hit him for alimony after the fact. Because why? I don't have any income. If I don't have any income, I think for most states it's anything over like 2 years, I'm gonna get at least 6 months to a year of alimony after the fact. So now you done paid me to be cute, you done paid me to be fine, you done paid me to do all these other things and whatnot, what have you. And now I'm gonna leave, and you're gonna have to pay me for a time after that. Again, man, what is that? That's super tricking. I can understand, like, you paying for it because everybody pays. Shout out to Marco Grande. Everybody pays, right? But just paying for the sake of a woman being like, no, man, that's the ultimate, like, simpish, like, blue pill to me, because that's giving the woman all the power. And you're like Russell Wilson, like you're doing, I'm afraid to lose you. So I'll do everything. I'll make your life a fantasy. I'll make your life, hit you with the after, I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, all that bullshit that ain't mine, that I can't give you no way.
I see you with the vocals. You had a little. Go ahead.
The after seven package, and then after you done with me, now I got to get back out here and what? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Oh, shout out to D-Mac the trucker for shooting me with a cash out too, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. So I'm understanding where you're going. I mean, I still say a man got a family. At the end of the day, if shit hit the fan financially, the bills don't get paid, the house get lost. It's on the man to do what he got to do, even if he got to work 70 hours, 80 hours if he have to. I'm all for that, but I can understand you saying no man should just be paying 100 paying for 100% of the life for some in-house pleasure model. But,
exactly. No.
We ended up, when I was married, we ended up in situations where she wasn't working, and I was putting in 65 hours. That's what we had to do. We had a family, and she wasn't working at certain times, and I had to go hard to take care of the family. That's what we had to do. Or she was trying to start a business that had potential to make us a lot of money. She was trying to get that business off the ground, but it never really got going. So I ended up a few years while that business wasn't really making no money, paying 100% everything, working myself to death. But for that situation, it is what it is. We got kids, we had goals, we had a family, we had, we was trying to get shit going. So I understand a man in that situation going hard. I do understand the getting rid of the whole pleasure model aspect of it. And when people talk about getting took to the cleaners in a marriage, is an important factor that got to get averaged into the equation is this. Well, one, Hold on. Shit. Had a burp that didn't want to come out. Sorry. It's only alimony in like less than 10% of marriages. That's a factor in the equation. And 38% of wives make more money than their husbands. So truthfully, most Americans are living out what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? So I think people are already doing it. It's just the concept is out there being pushed by women and some men that a man is still supposed to pay 100% of everything, and then the woman, what is she do? What is she doing? What does she work hard to get the degree for? That's not that. If she gets her way, she's not going to even use it. Like that's where it gets goofy.
Yeah, like I'm saying, you like you said, you were there for your ex, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to help her in her endeavors. You're investing the time, working the over hours. You still got to be a dad. You still got to do not just the work part or the financial part or the career part. You still got to be the family man. You know, you got to care about her feelings. You got to, spend time with the kids. You got to do all this other stuff or whatnot, what have you. You know, if you got a stray dog in the yard, you got to go wrestle it and, choke it to death or choke it away from the yard. You got to do all your manly shit and take on all this extra stress along with, what is she doing? Again, man, a relationship is just not that. A man, the man-woman dynamic is just moved so far beyond that. And that's because this is what women wanted. So when women want equality, you give it to them. If you want to be out here and you want to be able to work like a man and make as much money as a man and have the same rights as a man and claim that you can be a man, do what a man can do, not saying that you're going to pick a woman like that, but your sisters have effed you over for it, because at the end of the day, like I said, am I really and that's another part too. If I get this 8-9 a dime, right? 8-9 a dimes are the most recycled chicks ever. This is why you see these big names in, when they make it to celebrity status, or even these social media personalities now, right? Because she's just in it for the moment. Whoever the poppin' dude is, Lori Harvey is a household name, and she's hopped around and bounced around now to according to the whatever GQ or whichever one it is, the most attractive man in the world, right? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Her from, penis hopping. So once we get to that thing going or whatnot, what have you, is Michael B. Jordan taking care of everything for her? I doubt it. If he's smart, he's not. And that's the dude. And I know Future wasn't doing it when he was dealing with whoever. Hey, you got your money, I got my money. We both got a bag. This is why dudes usually date females that are of a certain level for the most part. And I've heard even some dudes complain about it. It's like a chick hit him up and be like, hey, well, I want this, I want that, and this and all these other things. Like, well, whoa, you can't afford this yourself. Why are you asking me for something you can do for yourself? What you gonna do for me? And reciprocity is a big part of it too. Like, damn, man, you get to the point of where as a man you want something. You know what I mean? I know all y'all niggas hard and y'all don't got no feelings, ain't no love and this. But listen, bro, no, bro, I want something, bro. I gotta give you something on Valentine's Day, anniversary, Christmas, Mother's Day, all these other days. But when it's my day, when it's my birthday, or when it's the anniversary, or when it's Father's Day or something, bitch, I want to be, surprised too. You know what I mean? I want to motherfucking feel good too. And if I'm paying for everything, bitch, what I'm like, hand you the money just to go buy my own gift? Shit, I can just buy my own shit. Just from that aspect of it. And again, man, it's just very small things that if and when you're ever in a long-term relationship or marriage, just the stressors and dealing with that same person over time, man, builds up a whole lot of little bitty things. You know what I mean? Little bitty things are just like, I'm sick of that shit. Why do you do it? And that's something you only get into when you're in a long-term relationship.
Right. Okay. So what do you think about the concept there? So the woman will try to say something along the lines of, okay, so you expecting her to pitch in on the bills or be 50-50, 30-70, 40-60 or whatever on all of that, but you expect submission. What you got on that one?
What do you mean? That's a given. Again, that's without a doubt. This is what I'm saying. And I don't
Wait,
know.
hold on. Hold your thought on that. We gonna deal with that one. But hold your thought. The perfect storm in the building said, "No kids, no jail. I won't pay." Okay. Mr. James Vicious, he said it's better to get the bill up front. Damn. I know I saw super chats. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, here they come. Sorry if I missed you. I'll probably go dig it up. He said, "Greetings, gentlemen. Mr. Fantastic. Are you saying if average earning men wouldn't risk it, why would the top earning men risk it?" That's a question that you can answer.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, of course. You have more to lose because that's the person that's going to definitely be paying alimony. The average guy is not really going, got to worry about that or whatever because, at the end of the day, what's she going to get? You know what I mean? But the dude that's making six figures or more, she gonna hit you for alimony, man, and they gonna give it to her 9 times out of 10. She gonna stick around for whatever the minimum amount of time it is. She knows she needs to stick around for, and then she's gonna, start acting out and start acting crazy. I'm not happy. I'm not this. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Even though you're literally doing everything for her, she's gonna leave, and you have to hit her with that alimony.
Right. The Mac Tucker says, "I pay 100% of bills in my household now, but the only reason I do it is because my girl got laid off due to COVID." I agree with you fellas. Yeah, the reality is you got to do it sometimes. I don't care how hardcore you are about not doing it. If you're in a relationship and you're a man, you're supposed to be the steady and constant. So there it is. You're going to end up doing it. But in this modern day and time where women work, they fought to get their education. They're significantly more educated than men. They make up more than 50% of the labor force, but don't expect to contribute financially to the relationship that they're in. It is an interesting concept, but some people would say, like, okay, hold on, let me get the rest of these super chats before we get back on that one. But Everyday Valet says, "I understand 100% of what Fantastic is saying, but if a woman is on your plan, taking care of your house and kids, I'm all for paying for everything. Deal with a position of power." We're going to get into that one, Everyday Valet. That's why I started. I started talking about the submission. We're going to talk about the man being in a position of power. I understand the modern times we live in. But I do understand that my house is my goddamn house. I was paying 100% of everything before she brought her ass in, but that kind of gets to if she coming in with money and she making money, I got some control over that money. Oh, I ain't got no control over that money? All right, 50-50 down the middle. Or just get your ass up out of here. But one or the other. Sika and Yang. So I understand the concept. Sika and Yang says, "Morning, fellas. Shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat." Let's see who else we got in here. So let's talk about that submission thing. Yeah, damn it, I keep missing. Okay, L Boogie in the building says, "Pay all the rent, utilities. My girl cooks, buys all the food and food for our dogs. Not married, no kids. The balance works for me. Work for you, good for you. Work for you, good for you." So let's talk about the submission thing. That's the trump card that they sitting on in their back pocket. Well, if you ain't paying 100% of everything, you can't expect submission. Go.
You submit to that homosexual nigga. You submit to him.
Uh-oh.
And furthermore, again, when you go outside, the black people, they submit to their dude and they're not paying 100%. Asian dudes aren't paying 100% of everything. Su Ling works in the Chinese shop. I see her. I know he's putting her to work.
Well, hold on. Over 50% of Asian women got degrees, which means that they out working for somebody else. They chances are they ain't using that. I'm assuming the undegreed women are the ones doing the toes and nails. The degreed ones are out there.
That's what I'm telling you. So either way it goes, the Asian man, who is the highest earning man in the country, it's the highest earning demographic in the country. They out earn white people. That white woman gonna work. You hear me? Whether she got a degree or, like you said, whether she's in a nail shop or she's in the Chinese in the Chinese food corner store. All right. So again, I don't want to hear that. I don't want, again, this is black women using anything to disqualify a man for the reason for her not being feminine as she should be and being in her place as a woman. again, black women were who? Some of the most famous, known for what? When you say, pro woman that sells her body, what's the archetype for that? It's a black woman nowadays, unfortunately. The pimp is what? A black man, and that black pimp had black women that work for him. So if you mean to tell me black women are willing to submit to a man to sell her whole body to hundreds, possibly thousands of men over years, and she's paying him. Listen now, a woman that's willing to pay a man that's making her sell her body. I don't want to hear this submission thing because a man is providing, protecting for you, providing you a lifestyle, a healthy relationship, a family, all of these things. And all he's requiring you to do is pay, like you said, 20, 40, even if it is 50. Last time I checked, Bernard, if you got $100, right? And you got, now I cut it down to $50. I just did what? I just saved you a whole lot of money. I mean, every time clearance hit for 50% off, I'm glad. So a lot of these black women need to get off of this, and I'm not even a 50-50 dude. 50-50 too much is that to me is like, yeah, I feel like the man should be paying more and not, 40, 49, 51. But, the least amount of bill I ever paid, bro, I think was like, I said, 23%? That's the lowest I got. Or was it? No, my bad. 33% was the lowest I got of me paying the most of the bills. And that
you mean you 60? Like, you mean you 66? Her 33?
Yeah. Her 33. That's the lowest we got on household bills. You know what I'm saying? Or total stuff in the house. And that was
hold on, time out. I was on that 70-30. Check this out. When I was on that 70-30 stuff when I was married, when I was paying 70, she was paying 30. We both was still making roughly the same amount of money. She was just fucking off the rest of her check on bullshit.
Thank you, Bernard. That's what I'm telling you. And that's what I'm saying. And they don't appreciate this. Bruh, a woman will never appreciate it, bruh. I'm telling y'all pull up on me tomorrow when everybody talking about Russel Wilson. We forgot about poor Steph Curry. Bruh, a woman will never appreciate what you're doing for her, bruh. All she gonna see is what you're not doing. So even if you're to the point of where you're the 50-50 guy, right? Look, chick, if you weren't dealing with me, you'll be out here paying 100% of everything for yourself. You just doubled your expenses. So even if we're together, and of course, I'm not saying on some marriage thing and whatnot, what have you, but to me, a philosophy or a thing that I would use nowadays in this crazy dating market or whatnot, what have you, I will leverage my power that way. I would say, hey, look, if we're going to live together, it's going to be half, at least on the rent. I'm not saying everything down the middle, but this shows you that the woman is going to be responsible. She's willing to work an actual job. She's willing to be and to contribute, and she's going to be consistent to keep that up to be able to do it before you even think about. Because again, bro, listen, a marriage is a legal binding of two corporations. All right, if she got messed up credit, you get married to her, your credit gonna be messed up. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be doing, and that's what black people haven't did. We just, I love her, I care about her, man. I'm gonna kill that nigga, I'm gonna marry her. You know what I'm saying? No matter what she's doing. But at the end of the day, you're not doing none of this important stuff that's gonna set you up for success for a long-term relationship or marriage with a person. You need to know who this person is, especially when it comes to the money, man. We live in America, bro. The money is the most important tool that you're going to use in the world, not just in this country, but in the world. So if you're going to just, again, give your tool away to somebody that don't even know what a wrench is or can't tell you the difference between a flathead and a Phillips, hey man, you get what you get.
Yeah, where I'm at with it, see, I'm more like, I don't agree with what you said when you said something about 50 on the rent. I feel like the rent or the mortgage, like that's central to the paying for the house. Like this is I am about sending a message that this is a moving ship that's going to be moving whether you own it or not. You can hop aboard and participate. So I'm more along the lines of, yeah, I can pay 100% of everything, and I can send that message, but I'm going to manage the money you bringing in. It will be managed by me.
Bernard,
It will be managed by me. I am with that. She can pay her damn car note and cell phone bill and car insurance, but the money that she making, I got to have some management and control over that. But
Hey,
I'm all for sending that message. I pay everything. This is my shit. This is my
listen,
shit.
man.
You're in here. We ain't. I don't. I don't like the idea of her paying the actual mortgage payment or putting anything on the
Listen,
mortgage
bro.
payment. She don't even gotta. She don't even gotta know where the money got. She don't even gotta know where the money gets sent to for the mortgage. They ain't even. No, you in my house. I'm
bro.
all for that.
Listen, I'm telling you, right? This is my personal thing.
Okay.
You know how many times I heard, because I had my house before she got there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had the house before she got there. She moved in when we got married. She already had a home, a house, a whole house. You know how many times? Well, you just pay the mortgage, and I'm like, bitch. What? I said, what? I said, are you fucking? And again, Bernard, she wasn't appreciative. She didn't appreciate the fact that she's paying like the water and the lights, right? Water and lights. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a couple of things here. Then like what half of the insurance. That's what it was, right? Half like the car insurance. And like I said, that's not initial. That's as she graduated. As she made more money, she started helping with more things. You know what I'm saying? But Bernard, how many times I heard, oh well, you had this house before I even got here. This your fault that you wanted a house. And I'm like, God, what the fuck? So again, man, trust, bro. My premise is basically based on the understanding what you said too, what you know. And I heard you say this. She don't appreciate it, bro. She's not gonna appreciate
it's true. No matter what you do with a high percentage of women, no matter what you do for them, once they get used to you doing it, now you ain't doing shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basing this whole premise off. I have the understanding of that a woman does not appreciate the things, like she doesn't see what you're actually doing for her. She don't see it because she's not losing any money or it's not anything to it. So this is why I say the 50-50 thing will be a good like learning process to make her value, something, and you guys, if long and it turns out to something. Okay, because like if she's paying and that could be just it. Hey, you pay half the rent, but then you take care of everything else. She's still not paying 50%. You see what I'm saying? So again, because I'm not a 50% dude, but if she paid 50% for the fucking, the place where y'all stay, you know what I'm saying? Well, bitch, hey, you gotta have a roof over your head. You live under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? You gonna live on the corner. All right. So again, this is the basic thing, a necessity that everybody has to have. And if you can't show me that you can afford to do this, well, one that I have to like, well, what are you really giving me? So now then I have to start breaking it down to see, okay, well, she can't afford this amount of money to do this, but okay, that she got some good ass mouth. That mouth is good, so that mouth about worth for extra, 150. And them legs there, yeah, that leg, hey, she do that motherfucking inside grip. You know what I'm saying? She can grip from the inside. So we'll throw that about 250. So yeah, I can make that difference up. That's worth it for me. In-house, cat anytime I want it. 24/7, 365. So you know what I'm saying? We'll shift that up to a good 300, 325. And so now instead of you paying that, we'll subtract that from your part of the rent, and you just gotta provide that.
Sika and Yang in the building, Mr. Fantastic. Do you have any stats to back up your claims on women in the Asian community?
Well, you just said it. You just gave me the stats. I didn't know 50% of Asian women had this. I'm telling you, bro.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just go ahead and look at it like that. They're the highest earning women in the country. They're the most degreed women in this country. So they're getting those degrees, and they are going out into corporate America, working corporate jobs, making some big corporate money.
All their money.
So I mean, so we can just look at stats on Asian women employment. They are working. They're not at home being pleasure models. They are working. And those that don't got degrees working in corporate America, those are the ones that you probably see at the nail shop, hair shop, scrubbing feet and all of that, whatever they do in those places, Where
or the massage parlors. Shout out to
massage
Bryant.
parlors, they getting it all in. I see you got a graphic down there. I'm pulling it up in a second. Fantastic is speaking straight facts. No ma'am, 81. That was some funny stuff. Let's see who else we got in the building on the super chat. In my man Indigenous TV in the building. He says it's a slippery slope. My wife sees me doing what I love, no longer having to go to a job I hate, and it no longer have to go to the job I hate, and it dings her ego a little bit. I let her know it's not easy, and neither are the home repairs. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Put a pin in that one. Whether or not it's even nowadays, if somebody if you let a house get junky as hell, yeah, it could be an all day, all week, all weekend project to keep it clean. But if you clean up every day, it ain't that much damn housework to do to where a woman can actually be busy all day. You wake up in the morning and the house is clean.
Unless you got all you got to do.
Yeah, all you got to do is as you knock something over, pick it back up. Like, I mean, so it's not that much housework to do. So I think the unspoken, unwritten model that a lot of people are going by is 2 people, 2 incomes, and working together and building and growing together. That is something that a lot of people are doing, and the data shows that. But Snow in the building says my man pays 100% of the bills and has 100% of the say. He will ask me for my opinion from time to time, but at the end of the day, he has the final say. Thank you for the super chat. Let me respond to that. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I was when I was not paying 100%. When I had 100%, I had final say, and when I wasn't paying 100%, I had final say. So again, that shows that you're in control, because what you're saying right here is saying if it wasn't 100%, you leave it to the imagination that maybe you would have something to complain about. So that's what I'm saying. You're just further proving my point. A pimp, ma'am, a pimp, that dude has final say, and not only is that woman out here, you know what I'm saying, working for him, making money for him, she's degrading herself for him. So what you're saying is nothing special. Again, it should be that way. If you're truly submissive, whether that man is making you pay 100% of the way, or he's making you pay 50% or 33% or whatever the hell it may be, you're going to be submissive, period. And he's still going to have the final say, because again, you're following that man, not the money he has.
Well, my response to that is when she says my man pays 100% of the bills and has 100% of the say. Okay, if he paid 70% of the bills and you had to pay 30% of the bills, would you be a bitch 30% of the time? Would you be an uncooperative, out of pocket, unbearable bitch 30% of the time? Or would you still be would you still be a decent person who's easy to love and get along with in a relationship? So that's why I can see the fuckery being smuggled in there. I think that paying 100% and having 100% of the power, that's something that men can talk about. Whenever a woman talking about it, just comes off as some disingenuous bullshit, and I'm not buying it. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, like, if put it like this, like, if I'm with a woman and she is a very cooperative, feminine, sweet, easy to be with, easy to love type of person, and then all of a sudden, if through circumstances I had to pay, drop down to paying 60-40, and then all of a sudden she became an unbearable bitch, when I get back on and pay 100%, I don't even want her ass. Nah, you showed me who you were. You can get the hell on. But anyway, let me get to had to do something off camera real quick. Yeah, I didn't see that. All right. Let's see where we at. We got more super chats coming in. Crimson Cure, email me. I was trying to find your email. It's not on your channel. Your email is not on your channel. I was trying to send you an email. She said, I might as well read what she said since I got it up. He said, no 50-50. Doing that with women does not work. It doesn't have the effect you think it does. She feels entitled to half of everything happening, including decision making. 50-50 does not work.
Again, Crimson Cure. She feels entitled whether she's paying 0% or 50%. The woman feels entitled, period. That's just it. So what you're saying, if 100% can work, 50-50 can work. If it's 100% don't work, 50-50 not gonna work. Nothing's going to work for a woman that feels the way that she should. She's a woman. A woman is gonna say, "Oh well," that's why we had the argument about, well, I didn't have to work for him. You know, I took care of the kids and I did this and I gave him some head and I gave him some this and he cried that time on my shoulder. That equals $10 million on some Austin Power shit. Again, so what you're saying is the same thing. No, if she is truly submissive, it don't matter how much she's contributing. She's going to know her place. She's being a team player, helping out the team overall from a financial standpoint, but she's still going to follow behind that man regardless.
I'm just figuring out how do other groups of people solve this daunting task when we know that the majority of women of other races work while being married.
Thank you.
The majority of them work while being married. 38% of them make more than their husband. So that's a factor that has to get averaged into the equation. That's one of the, there's no solutions. There's only trade-off. That's one of the unintended consequences of women being in the workplace. There's going to be less men who are providing 100%. That's just a fact of the matter. Go back to go back to the 50s, pre-60s, pre-second wave of feminism. Yeah, every woman had a man providing for her. Now, I was talking about this yesterday. It was a such thing as the working poor. There were various levels of providing, but every woman had a man who was providing. Far less women worked. You fast forward.
Because one man's income could suffice for the whole household. That's
well, it was married. It was married families still getting some form of welfare too. So I mean, it was some working poor going on. It was a lot of sacrifices being made. So I'm fucked around and forgot my point. Hold on, Mr. Shane Vicious. The issue is that half of the people want to be tradcon and the other want to be feminist. This allows women to play both sides. Yeah, it's a fair point in there. Damn it, I think I might have missed a super chat. Here we go. L Boogie says, we control relationships, but after you get married, she has the leverage. If I'm in a relationship, pay all the bills, I can cut her loose at any time. This is one of the benefits of not getting married. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right. Oh yeah, there you go, right there. There you go.
You had one from Lionel and O'Shea too. I think they got lost because they're not on the thing no more. They're not on the crawl no more.
All right, shout out to Lionel and O'Shea and Crimson Cure. My email is in the about section. Shoot me an email.
Put your shit on slow mo, bro. If you put your shit on slow mo, you gotta be a whole.
I don't even know how to do that. Where do you do that at?
You go to the hold on.
Do I got to be on the YouTube feed, or I can't do it from StreamYard? I take it.
You gotta go to the YouTube feed and go to the one for this thing. Open it up like they tell you whenever you're in the live thing, and the option will be there for you to put it on slow mo. You'll be able to put the video on slow mo, the chat on slow mo.
Yeah.
It might be in the damn thing. Actually, you might be able to just right click the buttons up top. I think you might be able to click the 3 buttons on the top, and you might be able to do it from there.
The 3 buttons on the top
right of the chat.
Top right of the chat. All right, I clicked on top right of the chat. It says manage moderators, participants, pop-up chat. Is that?
Nah, that ain't it.
It says toggle timestamp.
You gotta go in the settings of the thing. Then you gotta go in the settings of the video. But yeah,
all right, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to do that later. I ain't gonna stop the show for it. We just gonna have to suffer through it right now. But I'll be able to find Lionel and O'Shea. Like, let me the whole 50-50, if, like I say, if 38% of women are making more than their husband, and let's just keep this in mind, Black women are married the least, so they're not the ones tipping the scale on that 38%. So these are other women of other races that are making more than their husband. Now, I'm all for men being providers. I'm not saying be complacent with being average. I want to make it very clear. I am not saying that. I'm all for men thriving, being as industrious and overachieving as possible. But when we find out, when we look at like just watch Kevin Samuels' show, when he start running the numbers on them chicks, would he always, the conclusion that he always come to, he's like, ma'am, you're going to have to work. But what you're saying you want, you're going to have to work in order for that to work out. Now, if the woman working means she gets to be a part-time bitch to the man who's also working and providing and putting food on the table, then it's like, what the hell? Then the hell with relationships. the hell with it. Because in most cases, a woman will have to work. The numbers just check out like that. Now, a man should strive to be in position where he's just knocking it out the park financially. He should strive to get in that position. He should want to be in that position. But we see it all the time. Whenever Kevin Samuels run the numbers on them chicks, most of them will end up having to work. They will have to work to pay some type of bills. But I am all for, and this is one area where me and Fantastic disagree. Maybe we don't disagree too much on this. I say whatever the man can afford. He makes $55K a year. He should be living in a house that can reflect that, and he should have bills that his money can pay for. His money should be able to pay for everything, and then whatever she's bringing in money wise is extra put on top of that he's managing. So her money should not be a dependent on thing, because I do think you got to keep some type of power and control. And if she can't get with what you can provide, then whatever. Then she just got to get the hell on and move on with it. And any chick who cringing at that 50,000, the average white man make 50,000. So y'all can stop with that. Like, these other men ain't making money like how y'all think. So this whole the whole 50-50 thing, I mean, yes, it's good to be a man, because I'm making solid money right now. Like, I could easily beat myself and talk shit and say I could pay 100% of the bills. I could pay everything. I could do this. I could do that. You know, I can do that. I can talk all that shit. But I'm looking at the overall average of it. I look at the data. I look at it across the board. I look at Hispanic and Latino men and see what they making, and they ain't making shit either. And they women ain't making shit either. And they got to come together and put their money together to make, you know, a middle class lifestyle, or not even an upper middle class lifestyle, because we found out with multiple people, it's you over $100,000 when you're talking about you know, a family of 3 or 4. That's comfortably over $100,000 to be considered upper middle class. No, they got to put their money together just to be middle class with a family. Like, though, that's reality on the ground. So it does turn into a situation to where if a woman is saying, no, the only way a man could make 100% of the final decisions, and that's how I define submission, as the man makes the final, and the man makes the final call, makes the final decision. Yeah, I say the only way he can make the final decision is if he's paying 100% of the bills. And y'all saying y'all only can be submissive to a man that pays 100% of the bills, but we know from the data that 90%, probably only in 90% of marriages, is the man. Damn it, I should know that stat right off my head. How many men are comfortably paying 90% of the bills and given a comfortable, you know, middle or upper middle class lifestyle? The percentage that are actually doing that is very small. So you're basically saying only a small percentage of women should be acting right in a marriage. Only a small percentage of women should be behaving in the overall best interest of the family and the children. And so it turns into a weird cockeyed thing when you say that paying 100% of the bills is the only thing that puts a woman in a place where she's going to be cooperative in a relationship, when we look at other races of people with a much higher marital rate and their women are working and contributing financially to the household. So it just turns into a weird thing, and it turns into a situation where women start making arguments to gaslight men, and men start making arguments to virtue signal to any woman in the earshot that I pay 100% of the bills. I'm a 100% guy. And it just we're not even having a real conversation about real economic stats and numbers at that point. So that's where I'm at with it, and that's where these conversations, everything just get lost in the sauce. But anyway, what you got up here on the screen?
Just the percentage of women that don't have kids, and as you can see, black women are almost identical with Hispanic women. So, but you got a lot of super chat, so just catch them and we'll catch up.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch them. Mr. Shane Vitch is back at it again. Other women aren't part of the gynocracy. Many of them are. But grown man business, he said, paying all the bills, but splitting the vag with Tyrone. The life of a beta provider. Get out of there. Zero in the building. He says, if you want a real housewife and no domestic power struggles and you have the money, 100% is the way. He says, if you want a real housewife and no domestic power struggles and you have money, 100% is the way. I never know if Zero is playing or not. I think he's joking.
Check out the second super chat. Check out the second super chat. You got to know them right behind it.
If you live in the USA, forget what I just said. Okay.
Shout out to Zero.
Lord Commander in the building. He says, when you own a large portion of a company, you get to say. Hold on. Why would you expect women to contribute and not get a say, even if you pay 100%? Her presence gives her a say. She can choose not to be there. Nigga, what? He's saying
like, so you own a substantial amount of something, you get to say, you get a decision, or your opinion means something. But he's saying even if you pay 100%, her just being there gives her a say. And he's right. So just a woman just being there, again, you paying 100% doesn't motherfucking equal 100% submission. That's what a lot of niggas don't understand.
I defined submission as, yes, okay, she said something. You say what you say, she say what you say. You analyze all the information. At the end of the day, you make the final call. He's saying that she gets to make the final call sometimes, even when you're paying 100%. Yeah, so in my eyes, he's completely bending over for the gynocracy. He's saying even if you're 100% man, you still don't get to make 100% of the decisions. Exactly. She's a person too. She's a person too, and she lives there.
That's going to happen eventually, Bernard. She's going to be like, well, just because you pay all the bills doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. I should have, again, Bernard, I've been there, done that, man. I've had that conversation. And even when you try to break it down and be like, well, no, really you don't, because you don't get to make the major decisions because you're not contributing anything. So what that does, Bernard, that gets her to be, well, what I'm gonna do now is I'm not gonna let you pay 100% shit. I'm gonna get out here and work. That way now I do have a say. You know what I'm saying? And then she's gonna say, well, I'm making it easier on you because I'm contributing. So this shit is like it's like the fucking man.
Look, that's why it comes down to the woman's temperament and who she is as a person. I'll say that all day, and I've said it before. Like my woman, she got an engineering degree. She makes solid money. Now this, I think, okay, I don't, man, I ain't about to get into that. I'm off to a damn good start this year. I ain't about to talk about my money projections for this year, but either way it go, we don't live together. I'm just saying hypothetically, if me and her live together, okay, I would probably still be, I would be making more money than her, and I would be able to pay 100% of the bills. And even with her working, rather she wasn't working, or rather even if she made more money than me, I am sufficiently satisfied or sufficiently convinced that the person that she's shown me that she is, the character that she's demonstrated over time, tells me that it wouldn't matter that much with her, what the financial situation is. I'm her man. She following my lead. She behind me. She with me. She riding with me until I drive the car off a cliff, and then she jumping out when she see it going over a cliff. That's pretty much what's going on there. So I think if you're talking about the money you pay in this or that, is is the sole factor in what makes that woman cooperative, I think you are doing it wrong. But if you're not coming to it from perspective that I'm going to work hard as a man and be in position to pay 100%, you are doing it wrong too. So I think the man should thrive and try to be all he could be in all of that. But at the same time, it turns into a situation where I go back to what I always say: the woman going to be who she is and conduct herself the way she conduct herself in a relationship based on her character and who she is as a person, provided that you're not just a total piece of shit that's driving the car off a cliff. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm going with it. Zero says if you live outside the USA, use the backhand. There's a lot of, I hear it's a lot of that going on overseas. And if all else fails, Indigenous TV says, if all else fails, let the next man, like what cuckold Marshall Falk does with his wife. I have no idea what he's talking about there. Marshall Falk. I don't know nothing about Marshall Falk's personal life. The gynocracy is the game changer and why those TradCon values don't work on black women. If you want TradCon life, you need to go SYSBM. Black women are not submitting. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, seek out submissive women. Agreed. In the West, and convince her to be with you. The rest are for play. You should seek out submissive women. I do agree with that part. If you're seeking out unsubmissive women and saying that you're going to masculine provide them into submission, I think you're doing it wrong. You should seek out a woman who came submissive. All right. Where we at? Let's see. Somebody said I'm a 0% brother. I ain't giving these scurrying rats nothing. You're 0% brother, huh? All right.
Yeah, bring the thing back up real quick. The
oh, my bad. Hold on. There we go.
All right. So then furthermore, it comes down to this, man. And this is shit that I'm learning, being I'm back out here in these streets. Listen, man, percentage of childless women in the United States, 2018, more likely than not, this went up and not down. Okay. So, well, for this case, it would be down, not up. All right. Black alone is only 40% of women. We won't even make it 41. We just keep it at 40. All right. So 40% of women are childless, meaning what? They don't already have children. So now you have there are more childless men than there are childless women, right? So what's the chances of you being this guy that's, we're going to use our age bracket, like a 35-plus-year-old man. You're set with a good career. You're making good money. You're independent, self-sufficient, all these other things. You're not out here no dope boy, no crazy shit or whatever. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not out here gambling at the casino to make your money. You're good. You're set. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take on a woman. All right. You're going to have to find a woman first that doesn't have a kid. All right. That's a 40%. So you're starting off at 40% of women don't have kids. Okay. So let's say you find this woman that's 40% and kids. I didn't have the other one put up yet, but let's jump here real quick. And I got to make this one bigger. Let me see. All right. This right here is household income. And where's this one? Hold on. Right here is median income. Show y'all the difference. Individual median income. Hold up. Let's go back up. Oh shit. Too big. Hold on. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, cool. So this right here is individual income, 2019, 2020. Okay. 50% of people here. So we'll just say everybody's here, right? So in 2020, it was 75,000, all right, for individual income. All right. You jump here, and the 75% is 123,000. All right. that's showing you that even in these cases where the women are contributing, the women's having the households, because we know the majority of men, you can stop sharing. Yeah, I can stop sharing the screen. The majority of men are making more of the money, right? So even when a woman is contributing, she's just 50-50 shit is not even happening, because we know what? The men are making more money than the women, more likely than not. Even if you say it's 38%, that's still the 38% is lesser than the amount of women that don't have kids. So you're asking black men to choose from a pool of women to where you're only going to find 40% of them that don't have kids already. All right. And mind you, that graph that I said was from 15 to 60 or 50 or whatever it was, right? So a big pool of that is going to be cut out, because why? Anything under 18, you're not fucking with. 9 times out of 10, you're not fucking with nothing that's at 18. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even know what's the percentage of women that makes up that 40%, but it's going to be a nice little chunk. I would say somewhere at least around the 7 to 10% range of it being, you know. So that actually drops you down to somewhere probably about around 30%. So you got 100% of the men trying to choose from 30% of the women, just from the kid aspect. Then we get into where everybody loves to claim they don't do. You know, oh, I ain't fuck with no fat bitches. I don't like them fat bitches. I don't want to fuck them fat bitches. All right, so you got 30% of the women that don't have adult women that don't have kids. All right. And then we know what? The obesity rate and the overweight and obesity rates for black women is the highest of any other demographic. They had 70+%. So now out of those women, you're going to have to find a woman that's only out of the 30%. You only got another 30% out of the 30% that aren't overweight or obese. So you're going to find this, your chances of finding this woman, the 30% of the 30% is who I will argue, okay, if that's the 8, 9s, and dimes, or, you know, the highly attractive. And then even out of all of those, all of them 8, 9s, and dimes is what, Bernard? 1%, right? So who are you willing to pay 100% for? Are you willing to pay 100% for a 5?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. You had me lost. I was sitting there looking like Zero's avatar with a dude sitting looking confused at them equations, but now I get what you're going. Yeah. So where you're going, all of that was just a long-winded way of saying a lot of you Negroes gonna be paying 100% for
what you have to pick from. Is this woman even worthy of 9 times out of 10 what you go get? 9 times out of 10 what you're going to get, is she worthy of you paying 100% for her? She's already gonna have somebody's kids. 60% chance she's gonna have kids. Then out of that 60% of those women have kids by multiple dudes, and 70% of those chicks are going to be overweight. So as black men, why are we even offering this? Why is this even on the table? Not enough women qualify for this, and that's what I'm telling you. So and all women think what, Bernard? The 49ers. Shout out to the niggas. This is the first place I heard this. The 49ers, chicks that are 4s that think they're 9s. They're gonna think that they are due what the 8, 9s, and dimes are due. They're gonna say, "Well, I'm a woman. I can give you kids. I have a vagina and I have breasts and all these other things, you know. So I deserve what the hottest, youngest, most attractive woman gets. You know, there's no difference between me and her. So when you even put a lot of this stuff out there as an option on the table, bro, you are making it harder for men. You're making it harder for you know, that regular everyday dude all the way up to the fucking 6-figure dude, because this chick that's down here not got nothing. She overweight. She got kids. You know, she 30 plus, and she think that she ought to be able to come to the table with nothing. Man, get the hell up out of here, bro. Stop. She don't qualify.
Yeah, this is what I don't like. Whenever somebody say they 50-50, this is what it sounds like to me, and this is what I hear. I hear, you know, let's say the rent $1,000 is like, you know, baby, I got my 5. You got your 5? Oh, you ain't got your 5 yet? All right, I'm gonna put my 5 in an envelope and set it on the dresser. Whenever you come up with your 5, just put it in there. I mail it off. You know, I'm like that's when it get goofy, and yeah, it's on some roommate shit. I don't like the kind. I can't rock. That's what it sounds like when you're talking about 50-50, and that's why I can't rock with that concept of it. But I don't like in this modern time when women fought to work This is the aftermath of women who fought to work, and these women want to work. There's almost 60-40 on a college campus. They want to work. They want to make money, but they only going to act right if you pay 100% of the bills. But they working. Is that's where I'm like, it's some goofiness that comes to the table with the whole situation, and because it's 100% of even average at best, even the average at best would be talking about 6-figure dude who can pay everything. So that's where it just gets goofy. But I think on the man side, it gets goofy too if you're talking about it from a full-blown roommate status type of way.
But and that's what I'm saying, and this is why I say that ought to be something that a woman has to graduate to, man. At this point, bro, she gotta earn she gotta earn this shit, bro. You know what I mean? If you out here just offering marriage to a woman off the strength of her looks and all these other things, knowing the shit that it is, you'll be a dummy not to get some type of return or some type of tax break on the front end. Even if you don't, because again, man, a lot of people don't understand this. Even though you may not get alimony, Bernard, right? You may not qualify for alimony and whatnot. If you got property though, Bernard, what happened? She gonna get the can't sell the house without her. You got to pay her for the house shit. That don't show up on alimony. Or the car. Y'all got multiple cars, right? She want to get the good car. She don't want to get the beat up car, or you got to give her the car because she got the kids. And then furthermore, Bernard, child support is the ultimate lottery. You know what I'm saying? So even if she don't get alimony, there's a way more women that's getting fucking child support. Child support is all but guaranteed, in a divorce for a woman. You know what I'm saying? When she get custody of the kids. So even in cases where brothers are getting equal time, even if you get equal time, y'all live 5-10 minutes away from each other, same city, everything, equal pay, all of this shit, right? And still, it's some dudes that still have to pay child support. So again, man, this all I'm saying is, bro, what is she doing that she deserves just a free ride? There is no free lunch. That's what I grow up being taught, bro. And my thing would be like 50-50 would be a good strategy for a lot of dudes out here to see if a chick's serious, bro. If I'm serious about taking you on, and I'm gonna be willing to be with you for the rest of my life and sign my name on a piece of paper, hey, you have to show me for at least a year and a half, 2 years. That's before engagement. That ain't marriage, goddamn it. That's before we even get engaged. Let me know for sure that you're serious, that you are willing to invest in us on the front end. You feel me?
Right on. Hey, make sure y'all sub to Fantastic. Thank you for dropping that link in there, Soul Provider. Make sure y'all moderators stay spamming out Fantastic's channel. Spam him on out. What'd you say? Russell Wilson was in the title. We barely even talked about Russell Wilson. Let's briefly, before we open it up, let's briefly touch on what actually happened for those that don't know. I didn't see that much on it. I saw some dudes do a response video to it, but my general understanding is that he said something that came off as a very simplified statement where his biggest fear in life is losing the woman. So go ahead and just go ahead.
He basically castrated himself on national television, man, for this woman again. And Ciara was never that really attractive to me. I mean, she could dance real good, but Ciara wasn't like, Ciara to me is like at best like a 6. I mean, she wasn't too cute in the face. She did have a very, very athletic build. Is why I'm not a fan of her anyway. I don't like these athletic. The only athletically built chicks that I ever really liked was like Chili from TLC and Aaliyah back in the day. But since then, since the 90s, is like, that's some other shit. But either way, my biggest fear in life is losing you. Some old The Notebook ass response of them having like a couples quiz thing going on. And brothers, don't ever do that, man. Don't ever, even if for one, you shouldn't feel that way, but this dude honestly and truly feels this way. Bruh, men are not supposed to fall in love. Shout out to Chronicles of Judah. If you fall in love, bruh, she has all the power and authority, and your life will literally crumble and go into shambles if that woman leaves you, and she knows it. And whenever you make a public spectacle of yourself for the sake of a woman, bro, she has your balls and she will crush them.
All right. Tony Bates says, Bernard, submissive women will submit regardless of who is paying the bills. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But I don't want that statement to be used as an out for men to be comfortable and not thriving to be more. Like that's where I don't want that to happen. But I think it is true that a submissive woman, she's going to be feminine and submissive because that's just the core of who she is. If she's with you, she's going to be feminine and submissive while with you, and then when she gets to that point where she ain't with you no more, she's gone. She's gone. It's them out of pocket dysfunctional relationship chicks that like to stay with you even though they don't want to submit, they don't want to act right, they far from feminine, but they just want to just stay with you and be at it with you and constantly moving the goalpost of where you like what Fantastic talked about. You're paying 100% of the bills, but you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that. Like I literally know a married couple where it was stated, where the woman stated that you need to be a man that I can submit to. He was paying 100% of the bills. Like, so yeah, for an out-of-pocket bitch, it will be a forever moving goalpost. So it comes down to, if this woman is an out-of-pocket bitch, get her the hell out of your life. Don't sit there and think, I got to pay 100% of the bills and provide her a certain lifestyle to get her to act the way that a normal woman act. No, she ain't normal. Get her out of there. Get her the fuck out of there. That's how that works for me. So yeah, I'm not trying to, talk dudes into nigga dancing, but don't sit there and be comfortable being mediocre either. So it's a delicate balance in these conversations for me. Oh shit, Mr. Marcus, really? The majority of childless women are out of shape, have poor attitudes, or too old to start a family with. In addition, they're very masculine. Mr. Fantastic, you're hitting on all cylinders. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Excuse me. Give me a second. Utopia in the building. She says, is it important to choose women who have come from lineages of 5 or more decades of successful marriages? How the hell you took us back to fucking slavery? I don't know. I can't keep up that damn far. I mean, how your mom and daddy treat each other? That's about. I'm good with that.
That is slavery, for the record. 5 generations is definitely we picking some cotton and wading in the water.
Yeah, I just need to know is your daddy in jail and is your mama a crackhead? Okay, no, okay. that's what black people reduce down to. Did your mommy and daddy kill each other? They didn't. They okay. Well, okay, we can work with that. But no, it does matter the home she was raised in. But generations, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot.
Yeah, that's especially nowadays. Most chicks don't even know who their damn daddy is anyway. So I'm just saying,
Yeah, she says come from a lineage of 5 or more decades of successful marriages, generational wealth, and true understanding of how to be an asset as a wife. That's an important thing, though. She didn't say 5 generations. She said 5 or more decades. So that's technically 2.5, maybe 3 generations.
I'm about to say
yeah. So I thought you meant 5 generations. That's why I was like, hold up. But yeah, even 2 generations, if you can get that, that's great. That's great. But typically, yeah, the household she was raised in does matter. But I do caution against that because we do know that there was a generation of women that came from intact families where the mom didn't like her position being in the kitchen, having that man that was providing and she being submissive to him. And those were the ones that pushed their daughters in that next generation, that raised the daughters that burned bras in the street and ultimately created the world we got right now, that sparked the world that we got right now with this second, this post-second wave of feminism world that we live in. So those women who started all of that came from generations of intact families. So you can't exactly market on that because sometimes that woman in that intact family, she feel like, she didn't get to live her life. She got married young and she's been in the house, in the kitchen, didn't get to chase her dreams. She feel like she's, even though she probably wouldn't be abused, she feel abused and oppressed and all of that. So So it's so many layers to it to where I don't even think you could just look at it just like, the household she grew up in. She could very well have had a mom that taught her to go out and be industrious and get her education, so you won't have to depend on no man and be stuck in this house like me. You know. So there's that. Laro says cooking, cleaning, and the fact that won't die alone is not enough. Coming from a married dude. Shout out to you, Laro. Appreciate it. Who else we got in here? Ash L. He said the average ADOS BW is not worth my time. They can all kick rocks with open toe sandals. Not worth my energy or money. Sorry, passport gang. Zero in the building says men do everything better than women. Including submission. 10 out of 10 women agree with this. The RX-O in the building. Mr. Fantastic, given the position that men are enduring, how do we find the balance between being a traditional man and a modern man? Your thoughts? I think I've been tightrope walking on that delicate balance, doing the best I can to explain it, but it is a bit difficult nowadays. It is a bit difficult nowadays, but you can go ahead and answer that one, Fantastic.
Well, yeah, man, just move smartly. Again, we talk about data and statistics and everything here. So, and understand what marriage is. Marriage is a business, okay? Marriage is a business relationship, literally, okay? It's like boyfriend and girlfriends. We go down to the state. The state says, hey, you guys are together. You two become one, and we're going to tax you guys off the money you make and all this other stuff and the kids you have. And if you want to get divorced, we're going to be responsible and allow you to break up, if we pay us the money so we can allow you to break up. And then we're going to try to convince the woman to make you pay child support so the state can get residuals off of the child support being paid, pretty much. Again, man, for everybody that don't know, again, I was married for 10 years. I'm in the military. I have my own personal experience. I have the stats, the data. I have the anecdotal things from everybody, from every race, white boys, Asian boys, Indian, all this stuff, bro. Over 17 years, 10 years of marriage. This is me pretty much giving you an amalgamation of all of those experiences. I've heard some of the craziest things, bro, that you would never, ever believe. And I've seen it, not just like, oh, that's a story and that's not, no, I've seen it happen. Okay. I've seen it happen, bro. I've seen the thing where the dude's with the woman and she sends him, I don't want to be with you no more thing. Or she's out here while he's on deployment and she's got this man's kid hooked up with some other man, while this dude's in the middle of the fucking Persian Gulf, risking his life for his country. So again, man, for you giving a woman a free ride is never going to come out good in your favor, bro. And a woman just looking good is not enough for that. It's just not. It's just not that. Women need breaks and things like that when they're having kids and children in order so their mind can be focused on that. But a permanent ride all the way through of she ain't got to do nothing but wake up, suck and have sex and cook food. When again, we know now most of these chicks don't even know how to damn cook, man. That's why Uber Eats is like what $80 a pop as a stock and shit, and or DoorDash right now. Nobody's cooking anymore. All these traditional things are out of the way, and society has told women if they do that, if they're even entertaining doing that, they're being a slave. So that's why women are getting away from doing it. And if you're a man that's expecting it, now you're a misogynist and you're this and you're abusive and all these other things. So I'm just looking at it from the whole aspect. And all these chicks, there's a lot of chicks in the chat, man. I hope some of these chicks come up here and give a little bit of pushback, because these chicks keep talking about how a 50-50 won't work. 50-50 won't work for you because you don't want it to. If you were truly submissive and you really care about that man that you claim you love and care about, you want to build a future with, whatnot, what have you, you give your life up for that dude. So if you give your life up for a dude, what the hell is paying a little bit of money?
All right. The Ghost J Speed OG says, I can't really believe in a lot of statistics. Not gonna say nothing on that. It's like the Nielsen box. I don't know anyone who has one, so I like to ask anyone: have you ever been part? I think you mean being a part of any of those. I guess the questions, the questionnaires they asked to come up with the statistics. I don't know. I think that's what he's referring to, but I don't know. Spiritual Logic, aka Hog in the building. He said the hard truth is women cannot serve two masters. Their collective choice to live off the government over the authority of men destroyed marriage for the most part. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right, we got ARC and GMB in the building. What's going on, fellas? Go to ARC first, but what's happening, fellas?
Well, I say put 3 in the chat room if you want to see panel ARC 3 days in a row. That'll be our new record. No, I'm just joking. I ain't trying to reveal panel ARC today. No, I'm just now I've been listening off and on because I was doing other things, so I might have missed some things. I'm mainly trying to find out what's the main, because I'm only loosely familiar with this whole Russel Wilson issue. So is the issue that he pays Ciara's bills, or the issue that he like fawns over her and puts her up on a pedestal and treats her like
a combination of the two? Again, Ciara was a celebrity in her own right. Of course, not on the level of Russell Wilson, but she had her own money, all these other things and what have you. So to say that pretty much a woman that's already well off and she squandered away, and that was a really big part about the Russell Wilson part. I guess I'm glad you said that too, ARC. She's a baby mama, right? This woman had celebrity, she had all this stuff. I think she waited till she was 30. You know what I'm saying? Well into her career, well until she should have known better. She got with a dude that was infamous, impregnator, got pregnant by this dude. Stuff didn't work out. And now this simp came along and swept her off her feet and are going to provide for her kid with another man. They did just have their own kid in their own right, I think. But, and tell this woman in a public display before the world that if I lost you, pretty much I have nothing. I lose everything. My biggest fear in life is losing you. So once you break that down to the normal guy perspective of it, it's just like the black man usually has a Ciara to pick from. So telling the black man to even be considering to pay 100% of the bills for a woman that's going to already have somebody else's kid at a 60% rate, also at a 70% rate of that, she's going to be overweight or obese. And then out of that, she's also going to have multiple kids by multiple dudes. So I'm saying, how does a woman like that, the majority of women come to the table demanding that a man pay 100%? And you as a man, what kind of man are you to even be offering that to that pool of women?
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got a better understanding.
Shout out to Zero for the panel ARC fund. Shout out to Zero.
No. Now, see, like based on what he just said just now, I don't really have any contention with anything he said. The only potential I had for contention is if some guys are critical of men who just are paying their wife's bills, period. Now, he described a particular scenario. That's different. But what I don't like, and I expressed before, is the double talk. Mm-hmm. For example, this relates to yesterday when panel ARC revealed herself. I happened to mention that there was a stretch when I was younger where I had like 2 or 3 women who operated basically as sugar mamas for me. And I saw some guys in the chat basically saying, oh, a guy's not a real man if he got women paying his bills, he should be paying his own bills. He got a woman paying his bills. But yet I've heard same guys say, well, if a man paying bills, man, he a simp, man. That's a simp. And so it's like, which is it? If you got a bitch paying your bills, you a simp. And if you paying a woman's bills, you a simp too? That don't even make sense to me. So
you heard the same. You heard the same actual guy make both of those statements.
I don't know 100% for sure if it's the same exact guy, but I've definitely heard guys in this space criticize guys on both ends. Like, yeah, I joked about this on my channel on a separate issue. Is just totally to do with me individually. Like, but when I was single, there was a lot of brothers, mainly from my contingent that I call haters and critics, that would say, man, ARC too old to be just out there playing the field and being an old ass womanizer. He in his 50s. He need to settle down and find a wife. Then when I find a wife, niggas like, oh, this old nigga getting married. What's that about? I mean, Fantastic got a line. That's the shit I gotta do. And on the side note, and I'm not going to elaborate on that super chat I gave earlier, but Bernard, you probably remember, because one of the first times I pointed this out was on your channel. And again, I'm not going to go on a long digression, but I think it's funny when some brothers, when you in a chat room with them, would say, hey, what's up, ARC? Salute, fam. You know, I own your books, man. Cool. And then I hear that same brother on the live stream dogging me out. And that happened last night. But to Fantastic credit, because somebody was saying that ARC's father and mother would, if they were still alive, would be ashamed of him because he's a failure. He hasn't done anything that's represented success. And Fantastic was one of the brothers. There was two other brothers too that said, no, I disagree with that. He said ARC, you know, he's achieved a certain level of career success. He got 5 books. He's nationally, internationally known author. How can you say that's a failure? But yet 2 other brothers was like, he's a failure. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But going back to the main issue, yeah, I just came up to clarify because I know I had missed some portions of the content. Mm-hmm. And Fantastic articulated his thoughts very well. So I don't really have any counterpoint for him.
Well, I got a question for you, because this was a somewhat back and forth between us and the audience. The whole idea of a man not paying 100% of the bills and rather not the woman to be submissive. I remember you said before that your wife, very submissive, don't got a masculine bone in her body. You also mentioned that that she doesn't work and you pay for pretty much everything. You pay for everything. You pay 100%. You mentioned that. Yep. Okay.
Well, now, see, here's the smart thing I did though, at the risk of telling some of my personal business. And see, Fantastic, right before I jumped online, he made this a point. He said, in many ways, marriage is a business. Mm-hmm. See, one of the benefits of being self-employed,
she worked for you,
and having somebody work for you, her whole salary from me is a tax deduction. It helps me with my taxes. Because basically, without getting lengthy, the money I do, most of the money I spend on her, if I wanted to spend on her, it would be going to the IRS. So she, by her working for me, Mo1 Multimedia Incorporated, her whole, I'd say probably 80% of the money I spend on my wife comes from her salary that I pay her. And that her whole salary is tax deductible.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Now, here's my question. In the event, for whatever reason, she had to go back to work and go out. I don't know what she did before y'all got married, but let's just say she had to go back to work and her money had to pay 30% of the bills in the house. Do you think that she would all of a sudden become unfeminine, unsubmissive, and stop following your leadership?
No.
Okay, what if she had to pay, let's say, 50%? Would she all of a sudden become unfeminine, unsubmissive, and stop following your leadership?
No. Not my wife. Now, I know some women who would, but not my wife. No.
Exactly. So that was my point with it. A woman who's feminine and submissive, if that's what's needed in the situation, she's not going to all of a sudden just turn into a outright out of pocket, don't know how to act bitch, because she's working as most women in the country work and most women contribute. I don't know if half, but most of them contribute a significant portion of their money to the bills, to the functioning of the household in that way. Like the data is in on that. 38% of women make more money than their husband. So it's like, so when they're saying that their character is contingent upon whether or not you pay 100% of the bills, like I'm like, you was just out of pocket anyway, and you're gaslighting. That's where I'm at with that. But I like what you said right there, because that's the same feeling I get. Me and my woman, we don't live together, but I get the same vibe from her that if I needed her to come and work for me and not work, she'll be feminine and submissive. If she had to keep her job and continue working and me and her live together, even if we got married, she'd still be feminine and submissive, because that's just the core of who she is. And so, I
Yeah, some women I've seen that change. Just one quick story would be: I have a frat brother who was in a situation where when he got married, he was the breadwinner, and his wife was pursuing a graduate degree. I can't remember what discipline, but anyway, long story short, over a period of a few years, she got her degree, and it got to the point where she became the breadwinner. And honestly, me and a lot of my other friends who were friends with this particular frat brother, we saw the change in the dynamic. Like initially, she presented herself as a very feminine, submissive type woman. But once she became the breadwinner, she became more smart alecky, more argumentative. She would talk down to him. And it was like, I was like, dude. And that's why I talk about, you read the Beta Male Revolution. Remember that chapter I got on the bait and switch? That relates to what I call the marital bait and switch.
And see, with me, that's I don't want that chick. that chick who, if the second she make $5 a year more than me, now all of a sudden she out of pocket. I don't care if I get a $50,000 raise. I don't want you. I don't want you. You no, I don't. You gotta come ready. You gotta come feminine and submissive. Keep in mind, I'm going to be working hard to do everything I can to be the most successful man I could possibly be. But if I know you're an out-of-pocket bitch, but I'm just wielding money over you to make you act like you got some damn sense, then no, that's the one. Those are the ones that when opportunity presents itself, they want to take you to the cleaners, but the hell with the best interest of the kids, best interest of the family, overall outcomes, legacy. That's just an out-of-pocket selfish bitch. And I say don't deal with them. But anyway, I gotta go to GMB. Thank you for your patience. Well, hold on real quick. We got super chats in the building. It says Russell Ciara isn't the problem. The fact that black women live vicariously through athletes, entertainers, thinking they can get the same outcomes is the problem. He also came back through. That's Will Maddock, the mailman. Will Maddock, the mailman. God damn, that's interesting. One big problem with one big problem in the black community is black women dating bottom 20% and putting working middle class in the same category and using as an excuse to be non-submissive. Yep. ARC dropped down. Thanks, ARC, for coming up. I did want your opinion and perspective on that. The ERX the first says respect ARC. Solo Traveler says if she's from westernized culture, it's 50-50. If she's from foreign, I'm doing 100. You niggas. All right. We got GMB in the building. I see people down in the chat. I'll be bringing y'all up. Wait, hold on. Mute up for a second, GMB. I don't know why some background noise. I'm keeping the panel relatively small, so I'll be working y'all in. I'll be working y'all in a second. But go ahead, GMB. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that background noise, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, you good loud and clear, bro. What's up, GMB?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Only Fantastic could bring me out of panel retirement, okay? So I want to respect to you for that. And I'm not gonna go on one of my little rampages that I normally go on. I'm gonna try to keep the cursing to a minimum and respect your show, Bernard. But I want to say this, man. A lot of these, particularly black women, they worship and idolize Ciara because she represents every typical black hood rat's dream. You could be out here and be irresponsible with your vag and net drug dealers smash on you and rappers and athletes smash on you, and there's gonna be a beta provider like Russel Wilson waiting for you, at the end of that line. But the truth of the matter is, most of these black women don't have Ciara's beauty, they don't have her talent, and they damn sure don't have her money. So at the end of the day, the only thing that awaits you is dirty dick, Rodney, and mediocrity. You get what you deserve. Okay, there is no Russell Wilson out there for you. And furthermore, when you have this whole argument, look, take away, just strip Future of his status. He's not Future. He's just your average guy. Do the same thing for Russell Wilson. Okay. You take away their name, you just have two men standing right there beside each other in their natural form. Who do you think black women are going to choose 100 times out of 100? Just asking.
The ain't shit nigga.
Absolutely. And it's been proven. Black women prove this shit over and over again, man. So I don't even know why this is up for a debate. And as far as this provider shit and 50-50 argument, I mean, you're going to get what you put out. Nobody appreciates nothing that they haven't earned. So you mean to tell me I'm going to pay all the bills, I'm going to take care of all your needs, and you're going to work? Okay, so basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay all the bills, and I'm gonna split the pussy with Tyrone, the person, your imprint, the person that you're still sexually attracted to, because you're still not gonna submit, even though you're paying all the damn bills, and we know that you're a consumer, so you're gonna spend all the money. You're not gonna save anything. So what benefit does it have a man to pay all those bills, to take care of everything? Now 70-30, 60-40, man, that's up for debate. Me personally, my woman works. She has a career in engineer. She has an engineering degree, similar to Bernard's old lady. You know what I'm saying? We make damn good money, but I manage all the money. All the finances come through me, and I ration out things. We're not going to spend $500 on the motherfucking house. Okay. we're not going to spend money frivolously around here. We have grown children, and we have two girls that are in college that we have to still provide for. So at the end of the day, you know, if black women really cared about building, then they wouldn't even argue about things like submission or letting the man lead, or this 50-50 argument, because you would know that it only benefits the relationship. It only benefits the family. These motherfuckers don't want to do nothing but smut themselves out. It's a reason that they go get these degrees. The reason they want to say they're strong and independent, because at the end of the day, they simply want to whore in peace, man, with no accountability and no direction from a man. They don't respect black masculinity, and that's the vast majority of them.
Good stuff. Shout out to GMB, always bringing that heat. We got Soul Provider Speaks in the building. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, people? Fantastic, GMB, Riley, what's going on, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's up?
So Fantastic already put out, you know, the good starting point. He already started with all the info and the data, and then even ARC has some good stuff. Even GMB, he just said some really on point stuff. And this is the thing. It's like, well, these women are they're gonna promote whatever comes to their benefit, whether that's 50% or 100%. It don't really matter. I mean, the submission is nothing to be guaranteed. You know, you could demand 10 blowjobs a day, and you may only get 1.5 blowjobs a day. And you know that those other blowjobs may go to Tyrone, as GMB already stated. And then he already mentioned, hey, how about college? How about this? You know, if you're a family guy, you know, though that is very costly. Fantastic already mentioned daycare stuff. That is costly. So especially with us millennials and younger, bills, student loans, debts, all these type of things we have to deal with now. A lot of people can't even afford by themselves to buy houses. The only people I know who even have houses are doing dual income houses with their partners and shit like that. So this whole argument, like you guys said, I mean, it's just really dumb at this point. Anyone who's young, I mean, especially with this environment, it just makes no sense to do 100%. This makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you're going to pay for that damn useless degree they're going to get that's not STEM related? Hell no, I'm not going to pay for that fucking degree. All of those bills. So yeah, it makes no damn sense. And if you have agency, any young person should not do 100% at this current environment. This shit is just, there's no benefit. There's no respect for it.
Somebody said you sound like Game Changer.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. I never exactly noticed. Cut to the chase. What's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh yeah, I had to jump on this situation. I actually had this conversation about a year ago. I said 50-50. I'm a 50-50 dude. And everybody was saying that's bummy behavior. You should do 100% of the bills. And I say this, I had the conversation. I'm a young dude. there is certain situations where a dude would leverage 100%. That's if you're an older guy and you trying to compete with like younger dudes for women. Then I notice a lot of older guys leverage that 100% of the bill because they dirty mac me all the time. Oh, you mess with that young dude. Why you working then? I won't have you working. So I feel like older dudes leverage that 100% of the bills, but they never talk about that. They make it seem like they want submissive women. No, you do paying 100% of the bills because you're trying to compete with dudes in another age bracket for their women. So you have to go 100%. Because think about this. A woman my age, she'll be feminine submissive to me, but if you're an older dude out of shape, she might say, you might have to come with 100% of the bills if you want submission from me. Don't act like women don't pick and choose who they give submissiveness to. And when I hear dudes talk about why they pay 100% of the bills, they sound like women advocates. Oh, I'll pay 100% of the bills because I want submissive from women. I want feminine women. They sound like women advocates. Y'all making a better talking point for women than they are. Yep. So I just tell when dudes talk about why they pay 100% of the bills, that's why I call them simps, because their reasoning for it is just simpish. Because I look at it like this. If I'm going to get in a relationship with a woman, the things they sell me on, well, I'm going to be submissive. I get that at 50%. Well, I'm going to support you. How? Well, I'm going to help you with this. I get that at 50%. So it doesn't make sense. I don't value women companionship ever enough to pay 100% of the bills. I just don't. If a woman don't want to mess with me on my terms, I go to another woman and leave it at that. I don't negotiate submissiveness and feminine for 100% of the bills. You're going to get that regardless. So, and about Russell Wilson, the reason why a lot of dudes hate Russell Wilson now, because he shot way below his market value. Russell Wilson, NFL.
Don't say dudes hate Russell. Nobody hates Russell Wilson.
Why he get a lot of pushback.
He's the poster boy for simps. He's the poster boy. Yeah. Poster boy.
They have philosophical disagreements with some of the decisions that he's made. Don't say nobody. Don't say people hate him. I'm doing that for a reason.
Okay. Well, I just hate the Well, I don't really care. I mean, like, the reason why dudes have a problem with Russell Wilson is because he shot way below his market value. Russell Wilson was a Super Bowl winning quarterback, no kids. He was married before, so he was a divorcee. And he got with Ciara. Now, and I see all type of men had that problem with Russell Wilson. Educated lanes, even hood dudes, mouthful of gold. They say, damn, Russell Wilson tripping. Why he get with Ciara? He could have got. So a lot of people don't like the image that puts out that you got this dude worth all this money and you're going to go behind Future, like the 6th baby mama of Future, and you're going to kind of like save her. Because that gives women, that's why black women value that Ciara and Russell Wilson relationship. They love it. They love that they can mess with a drug dealer, be a 6th baby mom, and somebody like Russell Wilson can come with the cape on and save them. He's the poster child for hope. Russell Wilson is black women hope. They want that lifestyle. I want to mess with the drug dealers. Now, hopefully, somebody like Russell Wilson might not be on Russell Wilson level, but hopefully, somebody that's educated and worth a lot of money can come pick me up and save me and my baby. That's how I feel about that.
And Bernard, remember, let them know what the previous title was. I was going to do this from the whole aspect of that's why Ciara is the GOAT of black women. Ciara is the GOAT of black women because just like Cut to the Chase so eloquently stated, man. Listen, that is again, we gave you the numbers. 60% of black women have kids. And of that 60%, 70% of those are fucking single moms. And of those single moms, 60% of those it's actually higher than that now. More than 60% of black women have multiple kids by multiple dudes. So
30%.
Huh?
30% of black women with children have multiple baby daddies.
No, it's 60, bro.
It's actually over 60%.
Over 60 now. It's actually at 60, bro. But
can you put a link to that info in the chat so I can look that over?
Okay, I'll shoot it to you. But yeah, man. So again, like Cut to the Chase says, man, this is women. One woman sees like all women are real women. That's literally what a woman thinks. A woman can be 500 pounds, 4'9", and she's gonna see herself as beautiful as the runway model for Victoria's Secret. No kids, no nothing, everything tight and right. But this woman that's 2-3 kids deep by 2 different dudes, 400 pounds or whatever, is gonna come to the table thinking that she can be or she deserves the same thing this woman. That's a woman's mindset. So like that Chase said, whenever you put this out there, and it is the old nigga, shout out to the country, and I remember this because I was one of the dudes saying, hey, I'm not a 50-50 dude, but the dude's not a bum, or he's not whatever, and I have a better understanding of it now that I'm on the outside of a, you know what I'm saying, on the way out of a fucking marriage. Listen, bro, if for you to go 100% with a woman, it's never going to be a positive return for you because she's not going to appreciate it. And on the back end, she's still going to be liable to get something. She's still going to be possible, for her to get something even after she leaves that relationship. So you have dudes telling dudes, hey man, if you're not paying 100% of the bills, you broken, this, that, and the other. I'm like, whoa, nigga. And it's usually old niggas, you know, because that's the way they grew up. That's what their mom did with their dad and all this other shit. But those are different times, man. You got to get with the times, bro. There's a reason why they say household income. Every adult that lives in a household is expected to work and contribute. They have their own set of income. So if you're going to let a woman, bro, just cruise through everything, make her money, and her money be fun money, play money, and that's all she got to do, and then you breaking your back and you working your whole fucking life to fund everything and have all the responsibility, and you don't get nothing in return, what kind of deal is that? That's simp shit. Like 101.
Right on. Let me say this because Tony Bays asked a good question. He says, has Kevin Samuel ever explained why he supports men paying 100%? My response to that, my understanding of it, he's talking about high earning men in the top 10% of men marrying young, hot women. And she's they getting married and she's popping out his babies and all of that. And he paying 100%, taking care of everything in a traditional sense. But on his show, when women who fall somewhere in the middle, who qualify for men somewhere in the middle, he understands that, yes, both of y'all are going to work. Just the math that doesn't add up. So even when he's talking about a man paying 100%, he's still talking about, you know, high earning. He's really talking about men beyond the top 10%, you know, because when you break down a lot of it, what they're talking about, what they actually want, it comes down to men making anywhere from 150,000 to 250,000. He talking about relationships like that between really high earning men, young, hot, beautiful women, and they popping out the babies. That's what he's talking about there most of the time. But regular people, that's the point that I always like to look at. Regular people, I like to shave off the top 10% and look at everything from 90% on down and see where do the numbers lay out in there. And in those situations, the majority of the time, it's two people working, putting their money together to become middle or upper middle class, working together, and that's what the numbers are showing. So that's that. So when they're talking about guys making 70K a year, paying 100%, and that woman not working, well, okay, is she down with living I mean, that's still good money, but when you talk about guys making a certain amount of money, it's still, if y'all got kids, it's a certain amount of sacrifice that has to be made. If you're talking about 60,000, 70,000, all of that, it's a sacrifice. Y'all not going on 2 vacations a year. She ain't got, you know, red bottoms and red bottoms and Gucci bags and shit. You know, it's a certain amount of sacrifice being made. Can they get in line and submit and cooperate with that while not working, while he paying 100%? A lot of them will freely admit that they can't. They only want to do that for if you're making 6 figures and on up. But he said, then he get an appraisal of the woman. You know, she's average or slightly above average. And he's like, yeah, you more than likely gonna have to work. So from what I say, he's not full blown saying every guy should pay 100%, but he's saying a guy should strive, be industrious as possible and be in position to do it if he gets that woman showing up with no kids. He's trying to start a family and have her popping out babies. Yeah, he should be in position to pay 100% of the bills. That's my understanding of Kevin Samuel's position on that, to the best of my ability. But truth as I know it in the building, this was not supposed to turn into just the full-blown submission conversation, because we kind of been going in on that damn near too much. But Fantastic did want to talk about how the damn Russell Wilson putting Ciara on that pedestal, how his biggest fear in life is losing that woman and everything. And he drawing a parallel with how the guy who's saying, I'm going to pay 100% no matter what, he's putting that woman on a pedestal, don't want to lose her, going to do everything. He has the same mentality, I suppose, as Russell Wilson. I think that was more or less the point. But we ended up back here on the submission thing again. But
thanks for having me on, Bernard.
Since we hear truth, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and speak on that. And hold on, wait, Lord Commander in the building. He says it's up to every man to build the life he wants. Shaming other men because their desires isn't yours is bogus. Russell got what he wanted. Let the man live. I agree with that, but when things are public, out in the public sphere, people can give their social commentary on it, and that just is what it is. Yeah, but yeah, you're just trying to protect. You're trying to protect them from criticism. That's all you're doing right there. All right, go ahead, Truth. You got it.
Well, thanks for having me on. Shout out to the panel. Now, I'm a big Seahawks fan. Big time Seahawks fan. Russell's my favorite quarterback.
He ain't my favorite, but he definitely top 5. I love Russell Wilson as a football player. That's my guy. I'm still pissed off. I'm mad at that damn for not just running up the middle with Marshawn Lynch 3 times in a row until they get the damn touchdown. Russell Wilson would have 2 Super Bowls and Brady would only have 6. But anyway,
I'd be $5,000 richer too, because I had $5,000 on that game, and that motherfucker threw it instead of running it. God damn it! Put a big ass hole in my pocket.
We ain't got to talk about it. I still haven't got over that one, man. I still worst call in Super Bowl history. Worst call in Super Bowl history. By far. I got to step away for a second. I'm gonna be able to hear what you're saying. I just got to walk away for a second. So go ahead. You got the floor. Okay. You got the mic.
I think I actually named Russell Wilson's son. I'm not kidding either. Russell Wilson named his son Win Wilson. Well, I used to write him on social media, and I'd call him Winner motherfucking Wilson. That's what I say. You're my favorite quarterback. I'm a Seahawks fan. I call you Winner Wilson. Everybody knows me, knows that that's what I call him, and they laugh. And then he ended up naming his son Win, so I have no choice but to think I helped name his son. So the thing with Russ, too, with the homie on his team sleeping with his wife, he slept with his wife, and they were calling him a coon, and they were saying Russell Wilson wasn't black enough, and he acts like a white boy. And I think part of the reason he got with a black single mom is to try to prove his blackness and to get into good graces with the black community. So he gets with a beautiful and famous and successful black woman and single mom. So I think part of the reason he got with her is probably because he wants to be accepted in the gynocracy. He wants to be accepted in the black community. So of course he didn't get with a woman who's on his level. He dated down. That's why she made that song, Level Up, Level Up, Level Up, Level Up, because she knows she ain't on his level. She didn't deserve him like that. He's playing in the mud. He's kind of slumming it with her a little bit. And I think a lot of black men tend to do that when it comes to how they build their family structure. They're so desperate to have a black family and to be accepted. A lot of y'all never had love in your own families the way you wanted to have love. A lot of us haven't. I mean, that's part of being black in America is you lack love. That's part of one of the biggest problems with the black family structure. So then many of us, including the women, we form these weird and fucked up families that create massive problems. So in 2021, instead of black men, having the highest marriage rates, we have the lowest marriage rates. And there's, we can debate the reasons why, but I think a lot what underpins all of this is that black men have been browbeaten to the point now where they say publicly, I don't need a submissive woman. All she has to be is cooperative. And all that does is bring death and destruction and pain upon your families. You should be demanding a submissive woman. If you don't demand a submissive woman for yourself, you're a fool. And you're a fool because when you only ask for cooperation, you're only one bad argument, one bad fight. All you are is, the pool boy coming around and catching the eye of your woman. And all of a sudden you're having massive problems. So as a black man, I know you're not, in this feminist political climate, you're not supposed to say the word submission. You're not supposed to ask for the submission, and you're damn sure not supposed to demand submission. But that's exactly what we need to do as black men. Stand on your fucking square, black man, and demand submission for yourself. Now, that's not easy to do. First of all, most of us aren't comfortable saying it. We're not comfortable even thinking it, and we're damn sure not comfortable talking to women about this. But I'm telling you from firsthand personal experience that if you have the balls to tell a woman that you demand submission, she is going to listen, and she's going to want to know what you're talking about. And she may look at you like you're fucking crazy at first, but once you start breaking that down and you stand on your square, and you better know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to demanding what you want out of a woman. And you make that, you just stand on that square. And eventually what's going to happen is a lot of women are going to laugh at you and say, nah, I'm not about that. No, you're domineering. No, you're trying to take it back to the 1940s and whatever they might want to say. But then what'll happen is eventually women are going to say, you know what? That sounded crazy at first. I thought you were headed in the wrong place. But you know what? I like that. As a matter of fact, I want a relationship like that. If that's what submission is, I'm with it. And what you're going to find is you're going to be able to, you'll get better over time at communicating what you want. Women are going to find that attractive, and eventually you'll find yourself a submissive woman. But if you don't ask for it, you're never going to get it. So if you're going to just ask for cooperation, that's like getting a sirloin steak. Nobody wants to eat a fucking sirloin steak. That's what you give to children. You give that to a little 7-year-old who doesn't know the difference. No, you want a New York steak. You want you want a ribeye steak. You want filet mignon. You want a tender, juicy, steak with lots of fat in it and lots of flavor. That's like submission. So just tell women you want submission. Cooperation is not good enough. It's not about who pays the bills. It's not about how much income you make. It's not about any of that. It's not about how much she works and how much you work. It's about being on the same page and fighting for the same things together, submitting yourself to the mission. That's what it's about. Stand on your square, black man.
Well, yeah, man. Let me say this, bro. I don't believe a man should be asking for anything. Again, you have to ask for submission. You don't have it. Again, a woman either shows you or she doesn't. And you as a man should just be monitoring that woman's behavior and her interactions with you and making your pretty much like an executive decision without even her knowledge. Either she's going to, and of course there's nuance to it, because it could be a chick that's just completely and totally, uncontrollable, wild Mustang shit. Hey, she's there for fun. It is what it is. You use her for a purpose and move along. Or it's a chick that could have a couple of just, small character flaws you could tweak. But I don't think you should ever use the actual word of submission. Okay. Because by saying that, you lose. As soon as you say the word submission to a black woman, that is triggering. It's going to cause more issues and problems than this. And if it's to the point of where you have to say it, to me, she's extremely out of pocket. That's just me personally. That's my opinion on that. But the whole thing outside of the Russell Wilson aspect of it was just a small part of the whole potion of this mix of the black man. Again, why would you provide for that? If and when you are a certain level, and we're talking about the bringing the high value man aspect into it, or approaching that, right? Listen, we can't forget the things, and that's why I say a lot of people think conversation in life is linear when it's not. It's actually, it's like circular, because everything is nothing new under the sun. So you have that understanding, you remember everything that's said, and you apply it to a lot of different concepts to get like the perfect blend. So you being the prize as the man, okay? Why does the prize, turn around and treat the woman as the prize just basically off of her looks and her physicality? No, again, ma'am, if you're going to be a part of this, this is a team. This is an empire. This is a conglomerate. This is something wonderful and huge and big that I plan on having as a man, right? You're going to have to contribute, and not just children, not just some pleasure. You're going to have to contribute one of the most important things, which is going to be finances. So I don't give a damn how many of my babies and stuff you're popping out. You're not going to be popping out enough babies to the point where all you're doing for me is creating more bills. Because again, yet and still, crazy stuff happens every day, man. Businesses shut down. Everybody from Fortune 500 companies to personally owned businesses, right, or entrepreneurships. So my thing is, man, we gotta get with the times and have a new mindset and approach to what is a man's duties to a woman. A man is still supposed to provide and protect. Yes, I believe that. But for him to be approaching this Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith show, you know what I'm saying, mentality of I can afford to do everything and she's just gonna sit back and be pretty, or she's gonna go out here and work and she's gonna have her money to do with it what she pleases and not have to contribute anything to the household or to the ultimate plan, grand scheme of, you know, the empire, the conglomerate, this wonderful thing that we have as a partnership and as a team. Yeah, man, I can't get down with that. Again, that's a lose-lose. And again, you're gonna pay up front anyway, definitely. But it's no need in paying up front 100% and then paying on the back end with either child support, alimony, or property division, or a lot of other ways.
Fantastic.
All right,
You were saying
hold on
earlier.
real quick. Check your email, Silent. I just hit you with that email. I'm gonna rotate somebody out because I want to bring OG Speed on up. It's like sole provider, you do the short stick. Sorry. I'm gonna rotate OG Speed on up. I ain't trying to go over 6 on the panel. And again, though, got to quote O'Shea that too many niggas. I don't. I got to try to keep it at 6. Try to keep it at 6. But to what Truth was saying about asking for submission, I agree with Fantastic on that.
I'm not saying ask for submission.
Okay, all right. I'll let you clarify, but just for the listening audience who heard those words come out of your mouth. Yeah, with my woman, I never those words didn't come out of my mouth. Really, the word wasn't even when I met her. The word wasn't even really in my vocabulary. I just observed her and saw how she acted, and then watched how she acted over time, and I was like, I like this. I see how she operates, and that's just the core of who she is and how she operates. So, but if you worse, and I think that's probably what you did mean, you should not accept or tolerate anything less. I think that's probably what you meant by it.
Let me clarify. I didn't realize that's what I said specifically. What I mean is that
real quick. Bovine Breed, he says, what about having a hot chick that makes more than me and submissive at the same damn time? Is that okay? You just talking shit. You just joking. All right. Somebody else.
Can I jump in
with a super chat? Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna let Truth clarify himself, and then Sun is Hot Rod. Thank you for that super chat. I didn't get to Oh, there we go, right there. He says, I agree with Chase. These pensioners need to sit down somewhere and let the young be with the young. It's like they're trying to live out what they never experienced in their youth. To me, okay, I'll let that one roll. All right, Truth, go ahead and clarify your statement.
Yeah, I definitely don't mean that you should ask a woman for submission. What I'm saying is you tell a woman what your requirements are, and you tell her up front. I mean, you tell her early where you're at, and you stand on that. You see, in negotiations, this is what they teach you in business negotiations, is that you make your offer. And when you're done with your offer, there's going to be a quiet, silent moment, and you guys are just going to stare at each other. And generally, the person that speaks first loses. So when you tell a woman exactly what you want, you could say submissive or not say submissive, but you got to say exactly what you want. And odds are she's probably not going to be comfortable with everything that you're saying, but you say it anyways, and then you wait for a response. And if she doesn't say, that sounds like something I could work with, then you just walk away and say, then this just isn't going to work. You have to stand on that. And I know that black men see, you have Fantastic. He goes, don't tell a woman, don't say submission to a woman. And I would say, no, you should say submission to a woman, not because it's a magic word, but because the fact that it makes her uncomfortable and it makes you uncomfortable. What it does is it forces the person to really think about what you're saying and think about what they're saying. And once they start to get that machine going in their mind and they start to intellectualize this conversation, they start to look at you a little bit different. They start to have a little bit more respect for you. And that's what black men need in their relationships is you need to be demanding respect. So don't back off from being politically correct. Don't back off from making people uncomfortable. No, make her uncomfortable. Put her in the hot seat. See if she squirms. If she squirms, then you just get rid of her.
And just a little quick aside to that, man. Again, bro, I think you show your hand when you do that. When you do that, you show your hand. And that gives a woman a chance to act. So that's what I'm saying. If you let her know what you're looking for or what you require, she will be that. You feel me? She will maintain that role. So that's why I say, as a man and understanding women, you don't give her any hints to the direct path to what you want her to be. She just needs to be that, because if you give her that, she will become that just for the sake of getting into where she needs to be. And then in the long run, knowing women, 9 times out of 10, she'll switch it up and become her true self after she secured herself to get where she wants to be.
And that's what's happening in these spaces.
That's true. That's true too.
After she secured a bag,
Exactly.
yeah.
But there's a balance there. You can't be closed mouth. You better tell a woman what you mess with and what you don't. Because this is why. Because women don't come up.
I'm gonna pass that. I do understand what you're saying. You're basically saying, draw a line in the sand of what you will and will not accept and will not tolerate. Do that in the outset, and if she follows that, then great. Then I'm assuming that's what you mean.
That's it.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Game changer. Check your email. We're gonna go to J Speed. Thank you for your patience. He was waiting down there in the back for a long time. So go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic. Then we're gonna go to Silent Lamont after you.
All right. Good morning. I'd just like to say good morning and to the panel.
Time out. Am I the only one that sound like he loud as hell? Is that just me?
He in the studio. He good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you could.
All right, I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like to say good morning to 841 in the West Coast and to your panelists. First thing I like to do for all the ones who were trying to hit up on the old man with his good leg, you need to leave us alone, because number one is, if we decide to get a younger woman in our life or whatever, we're not in competition with you. We're not trying to be in competition with you. That's just what we want. And another thing, if I had to pay 100% to keep from eating woman booty, I would do that, because I'm not willing to do that. So for you younger guys who have to do all that kind of stuff, well, then you're going to have to work that out. And Mr. Fantastic, I got 3 questions for you. All right. So I do agree along with you with 100% when you said you shouldn't use that word about submission. Reason why I believe you don't say that word to a woman, because she can always turn around and ask you, what are you going to submit to? So, and then you will have to answer that question. Any good woman would ask you that. First thing I would like to ask you.
Why do you say any good woman would ask you that?
Well, where I come from, the way I roll, and I think Mr. Fantastic knows exactly where I come from, the Nation of Islam. If you go start talking about her submitting to you, she go ask you, are you going to submit to Allah? So, I'm just saying, whatever you submit to, whatever you got to be able to answer that question. That's why I say that.
So you're saying don't ask for submission because she might probe you with questions?
No, what I'm saying, what I was saying, my brother, I was agreeing with Mr. Fantastic due to the point, if you go through your screening right, you don't have to say a lot of things. You don't have to ask for a lot of things. That's what the screening process is for.
Okay.
All right. So let me move on to my question. You say marriage is almost like a business. It's a contract. All right. Well, due to the fact that corporations have found out throughout the histories of business, running a business, when you don't take input from your employees, sometimes you lose out. So would you take that model and try to put it in your relationship? That's the first question.
Okay. Of course, at some point, man, I don't believe in a chick being a robot or being a slave or anything like that. Any woman that I care about enough to give her literally the keys to my future and my success, she's going to have some sort of input. So yeah, she would definitely have an input, but at the end of the day, input is not final say. So yeah, she's going to have the input, but the final say is going to be mine. I can take what she says in consideration. She could be right, she could be wrong. But at the end of the day, like Bernard said, and I've been in a situation, bro, where, and shout out to my ex, I was dead ass wrong, bro. And you know what she did? We went over almost went over the cliff, and she told me, hey, I told your ass, but you didn't listen. You know what I said back? Well, baby, you was right. My bad. You was right. I should have listened to you, but I really appreciate you fucking, you know, let me go through the experience, and it was a lifelong lesson that I learned, and furthermore, we out of it. You know what I'm saying? And she helped me get out of it too. So at the same, so yeah, most definitely.
Great answer, man. Because then you close the circle. Because like, some people who are listening to that or listening to some of the panels can come to the point that they just want a robot.
That is weak sauce. That is weak sauce. You do want a robot. You want a woman who's a slave to the family structure, a woman who's a robot to your family structure, a slave to a great relationship, a slave to making a successful family and bringing joy into your life. You want all that. Well, I mean, it's not like you want her to be a slave in a bad way. It's like being a slave to success.
It's funny how she could go to that white man's job and be a slave and be a robot. Saying.
What do you guys think? And this is the problem. A lot of you niggas have bitch-made attitudes. That's the problem right there, because you won't put a woman in her place.
Now
and that place is by
let's get into it. All right, cool. You said your shit. Now let's get into it. Hold on.
Where you guys win and you stand on that.
Can I ask my second question, please?
Quit saying that.
It's time for you to be quiet now. So let me reply. First off, bitch made weak sauce, any of that shit, nigga. Ain't none of that here. First and foremost. Secondly, again, because you're using the word slave and robot, but then at the same time saying she shouldn't be a slave. Like, no, nigga, no.
You said slave and robot.
And again, I don't want no motherfucking bitch that's just gonna motherfucker. She can't move or can't make no move without me motherfucking telling her. That's a child, bro. That's an imbecile.
Right.
That's an idiot.
But you want her to be loyal to the family structure, right? You want her to be part of the family success, right?
I just fucking described to you an exact fucking situation of where she wasn't a slave or a fucking robot. She listened to what the hell I said and had to fucking say. I was wrong. We motherfucking took a fall for that. We had a setback for that. But being that I was a motherfucking BABG, I fucking am, she fucking rode in the car right along beside me in the fucking failure, did fucking get to say, well, hey, I told you how this was gonna come out or how it turned out. And what did she do? Furthermore, she helped build us and bring us back out of the hole that I set us in because the fuck. So again, bro, y'all niggas got to stop this macho bullshit, bro, because you know it sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good. It's not successful, bro.
How would you know? But how would you know?
How do you know, nigga? Bro,
I'm asking a question.
For 10 years. How do you know?
I've been married. I've been married and I'm still married. No divorce.
1.21 gigawatts.
She's happy. It works. Okay. You run the program. It works. It works.
But
that's
yet
what I'm saying.
Still, you're here saying and talking about submission and all this other shit, and it's like, brother. Again, this is what I'm saying.
No,
it sounds good.
What's it like?
It sounds good, but I'm telling you that a woman, bro, is a woman. A woman is a human being.
Right. I don't want a doormat. I'm with you, Fantastic.
She's a lifelong actor. She's a lifelong. GC, you got to mute up, bro. She's a lifelong actor, bro. Men that are make far more money than you, have far more impact than you, go through this shit, bro. It's only you. She's only yours for the time that she's with you. So for you to think that anything you have mapped out in your mind and your way, your program, nigga, that's only temporary. That shit can end today.
You're making a good point, but you're missing the bigger picture. I'm with you. We're on the same side of the table, Fantastic. Believe me, we're on the same side of the table. What you're missing is that the thing with submission, it doesn't really have to do with money. It doesn't have to do with how much somebody works. It doesn't have to do with income. What it has to do with is penetrating a woman's mind with ideas. We're talking about
what is that real world? What does that mean in the real world? All these fanciful, you got the wind in the trees and the air. Real
what that
world,
means
not this psychological babble. Like people have these
It's not
concepts that you
psychological
can't.
babble. Let me break it down.
What I'm
to
saying
you.
is, you didn't present an actual concept that a person can touch. It's just
Okay.
all this. Well, you got to be in her mind and the whispering willows and the trees and the what the fuck does that mean?
All right, well, let me explain.
Let him explain it. Let him explain it. Let him explain
Let me
it. Go ahead.
explain it. So, because ultimately, what you want, you want a wife who's cooperative, who's loyal, who's cheerful, who's a great mother. We all pretty much want all these things, right? And what happens generally is that she talks
It takes
too
2
much.
hours to explain something we already know.
Come on,
See
Simon,
now,
let him talk.
you want that, and that, okay. See, come on now. So the problem is that things go off the rails. What you want is a teammate. Okay, that's why it's called submitting. It's called submitting yourself to the mission. I've got a mission. I need my partner. That's my wife. She submits herself to the mission. So my mission becomes her mission. It's 2 people become one. You have to put this idea in her mind so that, see, now you just want, let me finish. Once she understands that her submitting is actually to a great benefit to herself and her children and you, then she's going to want to submit because she understands what these outcomes are going to be. She understands in a 10, 20, 30, 50-year cycle, 50 years from now, when we're headed in the grave, that we had massive success as a family unit because of the decisions she made 30 and 40 years ago. That's what submission is all about. You have to put that idea
We're going to be
into her
finished, or
head.
is this like an 8-minute explanation?
Well, some things are a little bit more complex, so I can't get it out quickly. Now, you always you get mad and scream and cuss about people interrupting you. You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer. Now you're interrupting me because it's taking so long. Listen, you have to stand on your square and penetrate her mind with exactly what you want. If you can do that, and she goes, that sounds like a great idea, you're going to be in a great place. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee. All women can go left. You could get cheated on. She could become disrespectful. But odds are, if you set that precedent early in the relationship, and you're a man of character and integrity, and you shape her core values, call a family meeting. Let's go over our core values. Let's talk about these together. Now you're penetrating her mind with ideas, so she'll remain submissive. So you'll remain submissive to your own plan. That's what it's about.
Okay, Silent. What particular did you come up on the panel to discuss? Because I don't even care for y'all back and forth. What was
in all fairness, he did take my time to go into that diatribe because after Jay's speed, it was supposed to be.
Silent. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Now you're trying to drop gems on it.
I'm taking the floor.
Truth. Chill. Silent got it. Go ahead.
I'm taking the floor.
Got it.
I'm an hour behind the conversation. I was actually trying to be on fire with Cut to the Chase when he was going. I actually came up here to chop it over Cut to the Chase, and then him and Fantastic was kind of go. So I'm actually kind of like an hour behind the conversation, to be honest. So I think at this point I'm just gonna take you. I'm the great responder. I'm not a diatriber, so I'll pass my time. But I will say this. I will say this. Just say you tricking. Stop coming up with all these scientific explanations. Just say you gotta pay. That's the only thing, man. It's like everybody coming up with all these 9,000. Well, you got to, and this and that. Just say you got to pay. I'm all right with that. You got to buy that young chick. I'm all right with that. But stop coming at these young brothers like you done figured this out. If y'all had it figured out, the young brothers like Cut to the Chase wouldn't have to be cleaning up after this mess. The way the old school did it is what got us into this mess.
Who are you talking about tricking? What are you talking about?
We don't pass. It's an old.
Nobody knows. We don't know what we're talking about. What the word does.
I thought you talking about me.
Everybody chill.
I didn't say your name.
Whoa, chill. We passing the mic to Game Changer. Let's go.
I get 30 seconds.
Nigga, you passed the mic as soon as you got it.
I was still talking though. I said I'd take my time. Okay, roger that.
Go ahead, Game Changer.
All right, so I believe, I support Truth in this one where he says, mention the word submission. Like sometimes you don't have to do it all the time, and you don't have to give like a questionnaire to a woman. Do you submit every time you meet a new chick? However, it is necessary sometimes because of the way the Black community and Black women are structured. You see, they are so dead set against it more than any other race that they don't want to even give verbal consent to it. And just seeing their reaction eliminates a large portion of it. Just even the ones who initially pretend, or they are into you at that time, so they're willing to do certain things, or they're willing to do the things for you that you want them to do for you, as long as they want to do it, which may appear submissive, but it's not. Even those, once they hear the word, they have this psychological and cultural knee-jerk reaction to it. And getting to see that reaction will determine what type of woman you're dealing with. Because let's be clear, there is a sisterhood.
Thank you.
There is a sisterhood, and one of the tenets of the sisterhood is the submissive Black woman is the enemy of the sisterhood, and shall be dealt with at any cost. So we have to know if we're dealing with a friend or a foe of the sisterhood immediately. Now, I could see if we were dealing with a group of women who are looking to finesse a man out of his wealth or something like that. The Beckys who marry a guy and then after 10 years, they divorce him and take all of stuff. No, we're dealing with women who try to get the bag now. We're dealing with women who want men to openly accept mediocrity, and so that they can disrespect him immediately. That's what we're dealing with. And to determine if we're getting that type of woman, the word submission it's kind of like a trigger word.
All right. Well,
It's really a man's shit test, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a man's shit test.
But
well stated.
Again, man, like I said, bro, again, more likely than not, it's not going to be a net positive. You're causing unnecessary fucking things. If you go into something knowing that this is like what something already is, it's no need in causing unnecessary contention. You just know what you're looking for. Again, if a woman is not doing something that you do, and you purposely say something to set her off to get a reaction, you could ruin a fucking perfectly good thing, because that's just like,
if he reacts to that, it's not a perfectly good thing.
Again,
exactly. You want to run him off. You want to run him off. Fantastic. Get rid of him quick.
Okay, nigga, this is my shit. So y'all shut the fuck up. I'm talking. Please and thank you. All right, so listen what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When the kid, if you're trying to get your kid to fucking eat vegetables, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't let your kid know that it's vegetables, because if you tell the kid it's vegetables and it's good for them, it's healthy for them, they're not gonna want it. But if you convince them that this is just something that they like without actually letting them know that it's vegetables, they'll take the same exact thing. You're just not telling them to fucking putting the name on it. It's the same thing with submission, bro. Again, you can guide and lead a bitch around to the perfect thing you want her to be and where you want her to go, without actually motherfucking giving her the goddamn exact address. That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas are saying give her the address and to let her know, hey, bitch, you going to the motherfucking asylum, right? We need you to check into the motherfucking crazy asylum. You give her the address, she Google it. Oh shit, nigga, this is a crazy asylum. I'm not going there. But if you guide her around and you tell her, well, hey, make a right over here, make a right over here, make a left there, go straight, at this block, do this, do that, so on and so forth. Again, man, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary fucking drama and bullshit. Woman, if this is how pimps work. Again, if women can do this. There's been plenty of other situations, and not just that. You can convince a fucking woman to do something without telling her the actual thing that you got to do them, because you're setting yourself up at a disadvantage. If you say submission and you tell her this, that, and the other, for one, she's already gonna become like in a competition or contention. That's what it's gonna be up top. But if you can make her do everything without ever saying the fucking word submission, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that I want her to embrace submission. I don't want to trick her into it. Secondly, kind of like the kid with vegetables, I would, because we don't pick our kids, but we do pick our significant other. If I could, I would pick a kid who likes vegetables, knowing that it's good for him. Not someone who has to be tricked into doing it. Also, the longevity of it. So what happens when that kid realizes that he or she is eating vegetables? Do they stop at that point?
No, they don't. They don't at all.
And if a woman just says,
wait.
Stop talking. No. Wait, stop. Don't try to run away from that. Exactly. See, you just proved my point. By trying to dissect my point, you proved my point.
Go for it.
You proved my point. Thank you for proving it. Go ahead.
Okay, so the kid realizes that it's vegetables, and then he has the same renewed distaste for it because
he doesn't. No, Tom. No, he doesn't.
Can't complete a sentence though.
Well, no. You're not going to do that. You're not. No, I'm not these other niggas. That's what you're not going to do. You're not. No, you prove my point. Now move forward from you proving my point. He's not going to all of a sudden because you told him this is a vegetable, stop liking it. No, he has a liking for it because you never told him what it was or the purpose of it. He's going to continue liking it. He's going to continue eating it without any contention whatsoever.
Okay, well, this is the difference between me and you. This is the difference is because if I tell if a woman,
he's talking, so you
if
be
a
quiet.
woman,
right quick.
Wait, hold on, Truth, fall back.
Okay.
Let's let GC and Fantastic hash this out.
Okay, well, since we don't know what a kid would do, I mean, like you're lying.
Well, I have kids, so I'm telling you what they do. We do know what kids do.
So
I'm telling you.
So you lied to them and tell them that it's vegetables, and then all of a sudden when they realize it's
vegetables, you don't.
Damn, fuck it.
All right, Fantastic. Let Game Changer finish his point. I want Game Changer to finish his point. Go ahead, Game Changer. You got it.
Okay. Well, the point is because, as you stated, women aren't children. So let's move out of that analogy altogether. That being the case, once a woman realizes that she's submitting, if she has the same reaction to submission and the triggers of it, then she will react that way the moment she realizes that she is in a submissive situation. So, let's not pretend like you can trick a grown woman into submitting something long term, because it just doesn't happen. We have a problem, and you act like that the men who are married, who are in the Black community, who have divorced Black women, weren't under the understanding that or belief that their wife was submissive. Their wife was submissive to a certain extent. Once that she wasn't submissive because she liked to be submitted, she liked to be submissive. She was submissive because she liked the guy and she felt that was necessary to do it. Truth and I, we want to determine the difference. We want women who embrace submission as a concept, as a belief, not just feel that it's something that they have to do to attract and continue to attract a choice man.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's the percentage of women that exist like that? Give me the percentage.
Only need one. Don't waste the time with the 99%.
So what you're saying, and it's a horrible percentage then. So it's
I would agree that it's a horrible.
Okay, so once again, Fantastic. Even if it is a horrible percentage, are you supposed to take something that's not submissive but only pretending to be because it's more of them? I mean, you don't take anything that you don't want just because it's more of it.
Let me hop in here real quick, because there aren't a lot of women that come off the shelf the submissive the way I need them to be. And the way I want a woman to be submissive is going to be different than the way Fantastic wants her to be submissive, and that's going to be different than the way Game Changer wants her to be submissive. That's going to be all different that's going to be to the individual. So the reality is that as men, we have to be able to shape these women. We have to be able to shape them to be submissive the way we want them to be. And women, I mean, Kevin Samuels' channel proves they have no idea what that means. So if we don't have a program for these women, and we don't have an ability to communicate exactly what we want and be demonstrative about that, be aggressive about that, and stand on our square about that, then how are we going to be able to get that? We can't trick a woman and call vegetables candy. You can't do that with grown-ups. What you do is you confront them with your reality of exactly what you want. And if they say no, I'm not into that, well, fine, good. The sooner the better. I don't want to waste my time with a woman who doesn't want to get on board with what I need her to get on board with.
Okay, people trick people every day, B. All right, men and women, men to men, jobs, fucking like banks, bro. So this whole idea that you can't be subversive with a person to get a person to do something you want them to do, versus being direct and causing contention, that just shows like your level of leadership skills. Again, this is not just a man to woman dynamic. This is also from a leadership and supervisory or subordinate to supervisory situation, bro. If you know a person has a problem with something, okay, and you doing it because of that, you don't purposely go in by making them do it the way that's going to be and cause contention. Okay. At the end of the
I
day,
agree with that. I agree with that. You're making a good point.
I didn't cut you off. Hold on. This is what you guys are saying. And what I'm telling you is your way is still flawed, because at the end of the day, that woman that you're coming to and you're telling her, I want you to submit. And you're looking for her to fucking, I guess, turn to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or just smile through it. She could be faking the whole entire time. There are plenty of dudes, okay? Plenty of dudes that had the woman that was perfectly submissive and she did this and that and all this other shit and la. And you know what happened? The relationship failed. And not only did the fucking relationship fail, come to find out, the whole time she was being submissive, she was fucking gobbling dicks of other dudes. You know, she was out here doing all kinds of shit behind your back, but because you think you said to submit, and she said, yes, honey, I'm going to submit. I'm going to do what you want me to do in front of your face. Behind your back, she was doing something totally different. And again,
Fantastic. No one is saying completely let your guard down because she agreed to the word submissive. What I'm saying is that by putting that out there, it weeds out a large percentage of women who simply aren't submissive. That's what we're saying. And we're not saying completely put your we're not saying completely put your guard down just because, like, that's not your only shit test.
It's not about a guard being down, though. That's you're not understanding.
No.
You don't go on and on about submission.
We don't automatically trust a woman just because she say the word submit. We put her through the same rigorous, examination process that any other dude does. It's just that in addition to that, we have that as an instant disqualifier.
Okay, so is any relationship 100% guaranteed?
We're not saying that they are. No.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. The way you're going to do it is not going to guarantee a different result. I'm just telling you. You're doing it with
no. I'm saying no guarantees. That's true. It's more efficient.
It's not more efficient. That's what I'm telling you.
It is more efficient.
It's not more efficient because, again, if it was more efficient, then it wouldn't be a fucking issue and a problem for Black women submitting. We would have this conversation in the first place.
Well, this determines if they have that issue or problem.
No, so it's also your issue and problem, though, because this is the woman you want. So if this is the woman you want and you can't find her, her problem is your problem.
Okay, so basically, if there exists a woman and in low percentage who is submissive, right? I would like to immediately eliminate those who are not, and those who can't even say the word are definitely not. So let's just say that eliminates like 60% of women automatically, of Black women automatically. Then now I know to deal more rigorously in that 40%. Now I know to spend time on that 40% to determine if they are lying about being submissive or if they actually are. Now let's just
logic.
Hold on.
That's bulletproof logic.
Wait, before you go. Now, GC, hold on. See, you I think you missed this part of the show, but see, this now you have this 40% of submissive women, right?
And of that 40%, they are either submissive or pretending to be submissive.
Okay, so of this 40%, also you got to take into consideration 70% of that 40% are going to be 60% of that 40% are going to have children already. 60% of that 70% of the 60%.
Not necessarily.
Yes, they are.
No, because a submissive woman is going to skew not having kids out of wedlock and all that bullshit.
Brother, stop. Just chill. Just wait your turn. Now, like I said, and you arguing with stats. Don't argue with me. Argue with the stats, bro. So, like I said, out of that 40% that's left over, 60% of those women are going to have children. Okay. Out of the 60% of women that have children, 70% of those are going to be single mothers. Out of that 70% of single mothers, 60+% of those women are going to have children by multiple dudes. So now you finally found a submissive woman, and now you have all these other factors that you personally don't want. How many women are you left with now?
I only need one, Fantastic. And you see,
Again,
here's the thing, Fantastic. I would rather not have a woman than to deal with a not submissive woman. See, you're not really bringing up the fact that if a woman is submissive or not. You don't want to say the thing because you don't want to eliminate a woman based on her not being submissive. You're saying that if you eliminate that 60%, that the sample population will be too low, which means that you're not completely ready to eliminate that 60%.
No, you missed. No.
Okay, so the numbers. So then, if that's the case, Fantastic. The numbers are the same whether you ask or not. Correct? Like we're all going after that minuscule amount of women who are submissive.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's my whole. You missed my point. That's my entire point.
So what does the numbers matter? Like the numbers
matter. Hold on.
Right quick. Yeah, we're all going for the minuscule amount of women.
Say that again. Wait. Say that again. Say it again, brother. Say it for me one more time.
We're all going after the minuscule amount of women.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time, and you tell me why it matters. Say it one more time.
Fantastic. No.
Why not?
Because you're derailing what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. You're saying what I'm saying. You can't. You don't understand the point. So let me explain it to you since you're missing the point. Hold on, you're missing the point, brother. You're missing the point. So this is the point that you missed. Again, no, this is the point you missed. The key word that you fucking said was we're all 100% of fucking black men are going after this very, very minuscule amount of fucking women. Okay, it's not enough for them to fucking go around. That's the entire point. So that's even including the submissive part. So what I'm fucking trying to tell you is when you say submissive and you give a bitch the motherfucking playbook to motherfucking get in the door, she's just gonna play the role for the time being because she knows what all niggas are looking and fucking waiting for her. So what she does then is when she's done with this nigga, she's gonna go on to the next all nigga because it's not enough for them to go around. And if she's fucking she don't have a kid. She don't got kids by multiple dudes. She's not fucking overweight, and she can play the motherfucking submissive game. She finesses her way through life, not getting bum ass niggas to pay 100% of her not to do nothing but fucking look good and have some motherfucking mouth and legs, bro. That's the whole point.
All right. GC, do you want to respond?
No, I'm not gonna speak to someone who interrupts.
All right, Fantastic. Don't interrupt. Let him get his full thought off. Go ahead.
You were
GC.
cooking him, GC. You were barbecuing him. That's why.
Come on, goddamn truth. You just said we was
nigga here.
My bad, Bernard. My bad.
Go ahead. With help. So I'm made for this. Let's go ahead. The chat is something different.
All right, Fantastic.
I saying, you know how I get down. It is what it is. Let's go.
All right, Fantastic. Mute up. I want to hear Game Changer get off his full shot. So go ahead, GC. You got it.
Okay, so the reason why the numbers were presented that way is because there are a lot of factors that we have to consider when picking a mate, and there are very few mates who pick that factor. There are very few women in the Black community who meets that particular description. So what a lot of guys are doing is they're compromising. They compromise on things like weight. They compromise on things like if she has kids. They compromise on things like, personal beauty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they also compromise on things like submission. So when a person is bringing all these numbers to the forefront, like, okay, there are very few and all the guys want them. They are saying like, perhaps you should not touch so hard on submission. Perhaps we should not ask for a woman to verbally consent to being submissive initially, and we should just focus on those who never said that they were submissive. Therefore, they don't really have any angst when the time comes and they say, "Oh, I never agreed to submit to you," et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You see, we have these rules. We have these. We require that people say certain things initially just because. Like during wedding vows, they say love, honor, and obey. Now they took the obey part out of modern marriage, but because we want to put women in a situation to where they can say, I never agreed to submit. They can behave with righteous indignation and say, listen, I never agreed to submit. I never agreed to obey with you, obey anything you say. Yes, I will do the things that you want me to do as long as I want to do them, but I never agreed to it. Yes, mentioning submission does eliminate a large percentage of the Black female population instantly. But that's what we want. We want to separate the wheat from the chaff. We want to get rid of the initially ratchet women before we make our selection. And I don't care if a woman is not selected at the end of the day. I don't care that, if there are so few and so many men competing for those women, then that there won't be enough to go around. That doesn't concern me, because I would rather not be with a woman than be with a woman who cringes at the word submission. We're not talking about eliminating women who are, because, that process, it doesn't eliminate the deceptive women, the women who are going to pretend to be. We have separate processes for that. But we're talking about eliminating women who aren't even willing to say the word. And that's because it means that she is so ingrained in this sisterhood. She's such a part of society that she's more a part of the sisterhood and society than she is a part of the family that you created for her. And somebody like that, you don't even want to waste time on. So yes, as part of an additional rigorous process that you have for eliminating women, one of those steps is to see how she reacts to the word submission.
All right. Yeah, I went back and forth as much as I could possibly go on that. I don't even know if Fantastic got anything else you want to say on that. I didn't think a debate was going to strike up over whether or not you should use the word submission or not use the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went down there. I don't know if you got it.
Let me say this, man. Again, like this is what I'm saying, bro. I've done it. I've seen it done. Again, a woman can be led. Okay, and again, listen me. Causing unnecessary contention, bro, especially if you're talking about a lifelong relationship with a woman, okay, is just not going to pay off in the long run. All right. Ultimately, if you get a person to do everything you want them to fucking do without exactly saying a certain thing, and they go along with it just fine, and then you know what I mean? It's like, I guess, like gremlins to fucking the Mogwais. Don't put water on the motherfuckers, and don't fuck them, feed them after fucking midnight, okay? Because every Mogwai has an opportunity to become a gremlin, right? Once you know what it is, you just don't do what it is to make it become that fucking gremlin. It's every woman has this in them. So that's my understanding of where I'm coming at it from. Like, man, if a bitch is cool with you and she's on your program, she likes you, she's willing to follow you and all these other things and whatnot, what have you, she's gonna do that. But even still with that, it's up into a point. So you could be benefiting from a fucking chick, all right, that is gonna make it all the way through to the point of where you do this, and this, and then you like, hey, well, hey, you do understand, like, this was submission, right? You were submitting here and there. And again, this is not just me. This is like psychological shit. This is, again, getting people to buy into certain things. This is like skills you pretty much get taught in fucking like a sales area, or like, people public speaking and stuff like that, right? So this is what I'm incorporating to everything I'm fucking saying. If you have a fucking woman that fits everything, other things you want to fucking find, she don't got no kids, she not fat as hell, all this other shit, so on and so forth, are you willing to motherfucking just throw the complete and total bitch away that you could possibly motherfucking work up and turn her, because that's a man's guide, is to mold a woman into what he wants her to be, okay? That's a man's job, because a bitch could give some good head, but she don't give head the way you like it for your dick. All right, you have to teach her. Okay, it's the same thing comes to a woman when it comes to just her mannerisms and all these other things. And if you have a woman that fits any and everything, bruh, that you could the fucking desire, and she makes the initial cut, why would you throw a motherfucking grenade off the fucking whip just to motherfucking fuck the shit up? If you can, if and when you lead her and she's willing to fucking follow you, you could fucking train her into that, because every woman has to be trained. No bitch come fresh out the box made specifically for you. That's a false fallacy, bullshit ass shit ever made in the history of niggerdom.
Asking a woman, real quick. No, we gotta let that one. We gotta put that one to bed. Silent. You got anything?
I mean, I guess I can't. There's nothing else I could add at this point. I'll just wait to the next conversation.
Truth, do you got anything? We almost about to wrap this thing up. We closing in on the 3-hour mark. Truth, you can give some final comments and final words on that. I'm not gonna lie, I checked out a minute ago. We gotta start going back and forth over whether or not you should say it.
Silent, shut the fuck up.
What the hell just happened?
I was just being a dick.
Silent, just being silent. So here's my last words, Bernard, is that part of the issue is that as Black people, as a Black community, we haven't been acculturated, the men or the women, to demand these submissive, dominant type relationships for whatever that means to the individual. And I don't mean a doormat. I don't mean a woman you could push around and bully, but I mean a family structure, a man and wife living together in ways where we have the highest marriage rates. We have, the lowest divorce rates. That ultimately we have the best family structures. Ultimately, this is what we're talking about for the benefit of Black men. So when we introduce submission into, the Black male lexicon, you see a little bit of this cognitive dissonance. You go, whoa, we don't do this shit. That's not going to work over here. So it's natural to get this pushback at first, but over time, you'll learn to accept it. You'll learn to use just the idea of having a submissive woman and using the word submission. It'll seem natural. It'll seem normal. It would seem crazy not to do it. So just stick with it. Of course, right now, it sounds kind of crazy. Like, why would niggas want to do that shit? But trust me, it definitely works.
All right. Everybody who sent super chats when things was getting relatively intense, I did see the super chats. I'm going to attempt to bare minimum to read some of them, bare minimum shout all of them out as we wrap things up here. Some of the super chats I know will probably elicit a discussion, so I'm going to try to get into that because I know some of you were super chatting questions. So I'm going to actually try to close this thing out by going through the super chats. Okay, and DJ Prophet says, "Isn't MC Hustle a simp since he wifed up Lil Wayne's baby mama?" Okay, I don't know. Who was that? Simon Landris says, "Fantastic. What percentage of Black women do you think are marriageable?" You can answer that one quickly. Fantastic.
5.
Damn. There I said it says, "Fantastic. I agree with you 99% of the time, but sounds like soft shoeing to me." You can briefly respond to that if you would.
Yeah, man. Again, bro. All I'm saying is this: if you guys think you're going to change a whole race of women's mindset and whatever by force, you're insane. It's not going to happen. Again, you have to. This has been proven in the annals of history. When you had major shifts in culture and all these other things, it wasn't done by force, bro. It was done through propaganda, and it was done through pretty much subversion. So again, if you can get people to like something or become comfortable with it without them actually knowing it, this is how the fucking entertainment industry and the advertisement industry is so impactful and influential. They literally mind fuck you into making you buy stuff and want stuff that you don't even understand. If you start approaching things from that thing and not trying to fucking, force feed some shit down the motherfucking mouth, you will get far further doing it that way than the forceful way that you know it's not going to work anyway. That's all I'm saying. And the data, the proof and the facts are on my side.
All right, and as we getting close to the end, moderators, make sure y'all spamming us out with Fantastic's channel. If there's anybody in here who's not subscribed to Fantastic, they can go ahead and do so. Morgan Freeman says, "If you are worried about contention, replace her." JR says, "Talk about how man's fitness does not matter." I don't know why that's. I think I know where you're going with that, but I'm not. That's almost irrelevant to the conversation. That's almost irrelevant to the conversation. it's a conversation to be had about that, rather not the man who's bringing this. This goes back to something you probably don't like, the 100% niggas, as you call them. Yeah, he's bringing in the money, and she need to bring in the beauty. She need to be in shape. He can have a little pudge around the waistline, but he, working. He bringing in the money, paying the bills. So that's a separate conversation. I think that's where he's going with that. A grown man Bennett in the building. He says they want the benefit of having a man without being under the leadership of a man. They simply want to whore in peace. Whatever he said, whore in peace, was that a play on words, like war in peace?
Yeah, war in peace.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that was a play on words, but yeah, that's pretty damn good. Whore in peace. Right on. Seeking My Creator says, fantastic. There are more black women than black men. Maybe I believe he said that when you mentioned
but that's only like not even 1.5. See, it's not even 1.5 to 1, Bernard. People have this misconception that it's like double the amount of black women to black men. That's not true.
I'm yet to see anybody prove that. I know it's more black women than men, but it's more women than men across the board. So I think all he was trying to do is get you to average that. And when you was doing all that niggonometry, he wanted you to add that, average that. It's
not gonna make a difference, bro. It's gonna give you like an extra half of a bitch. You're gonna get a 0.5 of a bitch, bro.
You'll get 0.5 of a bitch. Okay. CJNBM says, submission is just a word. You'll lose women off the word alone. Just lead and a good woman will follow. I like that you said a good woman will follow. I hate when people say just lead and a woman will follow. No, a good woman. So I have no disagreement with you because you put the good woman asterisk in there. I hate when they try to make it seem like it's a one size fits all. If you just lead right, a woman will automatically fall in line. Not some of these chicks, but he says the word isn't a hill to die on. And I understand where he's coming from there, but I do understand Game Changers and Truth as I know its point, how they was like, no, hit them right in the chin with it and see how they react. I do understand the points, but it's something I never thought about, whether or not you need to say it up front. I just never thought about that. I observe behavior, and then as we moved on, I mean, I talked about it a little bit earlier. How
it's a case by case thing, Bernard. That's what I was saying.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But with me and my woman, it organically happened because was just the nature of who she was. So that's that.
Hey, but Bernard, would you mind actually talking to your woman about submission and see what she says? See how she responds.
No. We have talked about it. We have talked about it. We've had plenty of conversations about it, but it came off like y'all were saying
day one. So
hold on. Wait. Somebody said in the chat, I think it might have been cut to the chase. He said it's coming off like y'all walking up to women like, excuse me, are you submissive? It's like
I said the exact
like, bitch, you gonna submit, bitch.
No, I said the exact opposite of that, in the beginning.
I know.
But
I got you.
I totally missed that part. I totally missed the part of where it was going to be anything other than up front. The first thing we're talking about is submit. So that's my bad.
And that's part of the reason why I checked out of the conversation, because y'all was so far afield, and I was trying to remember how did the conversation start and where did it start going wrong, and I couldn't even figure out. So I'm just gonna let them go on and go back and forth until they figure out who right and who wrong. But I think y'all don't disagree as much as y'all think y'all do. But moving on. Top Shelf says, wait, hold on. Where I'm at. OG says the way a woman act and submit in the beginning of the relationship is not the way she's going to act and submit in a courtroom. Here. I'm not going there. Top Shelf C says we're focusing on the outcome rather than the remedy. Black men focus unceasingly on building and working together collectively. There go that collective word that people just throw out there. Don't know what it means. They don't know what it means when they say it most of the time, but maybe this guy does. Working together collectively, and the power shift starts. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Charles Merchant said the word submission triggers a creature that is unable to submit to a man, like a virgin triggers a promiscuous woman, because they can never form another hymen to offer a husband. Thank you for the super chat, Charles Merchant. I appreciate that. There, I said it in the building. Says it's important to verbalize you are the lead to your woman, because submission is shunned by the gynocracy. Your woman will buck once once black women are around. Good stuff. Charles Merchant says, man shall not marry a liberated woman, as she is incapable of submitting to a man. State-sponsored marriage is him submitting to her. Woo! This is why the sisterhood celebrated Ciara getting Russell. Top Shelf, thank you for that super chat, Charles Merchant. Top Shelf C says, human nature shows us submission is usually by force. Wars, slavery, and even women, etc., have the option is more cooperation than submission. Batman Beyond 6'4". I don't know why that's Batman Beyond 6'4". Okay. Any man that gets married is a simp. Point blank, period. There is no good women. This hope crap needs to stop. When women are the same, they aren't really different. You are the slave to her and the state. What's your thoughts on that, Game Changer? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, there is some truth to that. I mean, because basically the power dynamic completely changes. So, you know, you're getting one person who behaves one way because of the power dynamic. And once that changes to her favor, you know, you might get something completely different. So, yeah, there is truth to that. If you can get her to submit to a non-state sanctioned marriage, then, you know, that's something you would talk about beforehand, but you got to use the word. And then you could continue with the marriage without the legal ramifications of divorce.
Game Changer, like, fuck this. I'm gonna win this argument. I'm gonna slip in one last little rabbit punch at the on the way out the door.
Divorces happen every day, B. At a what major? I mean, you at a higher percentage than fucking what's the name, right? So hey, you make it last for 10 years. You did something right for a substantial amount of time, man. Hey, but it is what it is, baby.
Yeah,
you'll be out here in the pussy market, baby. Let the pussy flow. Just saying.
Any man that gets married is a simp. Are y'all on board with that one?
I agree.
No, I don't think that they're a simp. They're probably just unaware.
I disagree, but it does put you in a compromised position with the state. That is definitely true.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because we throw the word simp around too much.
Yeah,
you know, we kind of overuse that word, so I don't really want to, you know, like latch on to that. But I will say that, like Truth was saying, that you do put yourself in a compromised position.
You definitely have simpish qualities, bro. Again, at 20, we're talking 2021. If you're already married, your grandfather dead, it is what it is. But from 2021 forward, if you're out here actively looking to get married today, in the climate that you have, feminism, overweight, obesity, the black women, multiple kids by multiple dudes, all this other shit, whatnot, what have you, bro, you're simping. And times 1,000, if you talking about paying 100% of, like you said, we talking about, like, and that's why I said it was 5%. Once you do all of those calculations of what I have, what's the pool of women that all black women have left over? And then you have to further narrow that down. Why? Because these women can only be with one man at a time. So it's going to be a lot of men left out. But that's why these women have such a, you know, elevated motherfucking esteem or whatnot when it comes to them. And they are attractive, single, in shape and all this other shit. You know, that's the ones you actually do want.
Well, you know, here's the thing with simping in marriage, because a lot of guys, man, you know, you're running through packs of women in your 20s. You're running through packs of women in your 30s. You got more money, and you're bigger, stronger, you're smarter. I mean, you get into your 40s, you might have 2, 3, 4, 500 bodies underneath your belt, right? It gets old. You say, man, I don't want to go out with another woman I never met before, and you know, and this ugly faced chick. I don't want to hang out with her. You might want a family, right? And the best way to ensure that you have a healthy, prosperous family is to have marriage. Now, you probably don't want to do it through the state for obvious reasons, but you want to be able to insulate your family, protect your family. That's why you want a submissive wife. That's why you want marriage.
All right. Top Shelf C says, build a kingdom first and then demand cooperation to be a part of it. There, I said it in the building. He says, fantastic. That's cool. But did she repeat these events to female fam and friends to criticize your leadership? If so, weak sauce.
I responded to him on that one. He was talking about when I was talking about the story or whatever.
Okay.
To my knowledge, she didn't. But if she did, I mean, the fuck, it didn't. It didn't change shit.
Okay, Zero's in the building with a super chat. He says, people don't remember a time when you could court a nice lady and have an eventful evening, walk through the park, but the Pepperidge Farm remembers. Okay. Friendly reminder, 100% of divorces are caused by marriage. Ray Clemens in the building. He says, bro, that's weak. Who wants a robot? I agree with Fantastic. Sometimes us as men do need a feminine perspective. Okay. Seeking My Creator says, white knight alert. Soul Provider Speak says, if you're going to eat groceries, at least eat the whole food. Shout out to the Lick the Bowl homies. I don't know who the Lick the Bowl homies are, even though yeah, it's apparent it's a thing. It's a thing. Number 16 in the building. He says submission is all good until they remember that the government is the head of the household in the U.S. Ace in Spades says there's a reason why male lions kill the cubs of the previous lion. I don't think it's naturally in men to foster other men's kids with some contempt. Charles Merchant in the building again. Thank you for all those super chats, Charles Merchant. He says submission is the glue that bonds a wife to her husband in ownership. Since a man can no longer own his wife, a woman uses submissive behavior to grift a man under her state-sponsored throne. Sun is hot raw in the building. Says I agree. Chase the okay. I think I read that one. I think I'm catching up to the when I had to stop reading it because Game Changer and Fantastic was in a wrestling match. Will that young lady always be a stain in the community's eye? Will Russell Wilson always be a simp, or will he prove that he has done the unthinkable? I don't know. I don't think too much about that. I just think that when you Russell Wilson, if you want a woman that look like Ciara, act like Ciara, you can find one who will not baby mama number 8 to a lesser celebrity. That's just my opinion. Mr. Shane Vicious, you don't demand submission, you select it. I like that concept. I really do like that concept. Even though it's some nuance that need to get teased out there, I do like that concept. Terrence B, he says, was married for 4 months, just got divorced on Monday. I do not wish that on no one. And so not marry a baby mama separated for 2 years. What the hell? All right. I think I've made it to the point, to the bottom of it. Because I see where somebody said 100% is code word for tricking. And I think that's where I stopped reading them. I think I got all of them, most of them. Because yeah, I see I'm right down there by Utopia and RXO and Ash L and Spiritual Logic Hawk. I do remember reading those. And Melody in there. ERX the first says respect ARC. All right, cool. I got them all. I read all the super chats. Thank you, everybody who super chatted today, everybody who participated in the stream in any way, shape, or form. I feel like it's almost redundant to do it. Nope, Obsidian, you ain't about to do this to me. Come on at the last minute and extend this out 2 hours. Hold on. The Bernard Riley, could you please ask the panel what is the difference between you're just asking me to ask them what's the difference between submission and cooperation. We're going to do that, and that's going to be the final words. I'm just going to get y'all thoughts on the difference between submission and cooperation, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Man of Tomorrow says submission has an expiration date, single 28, single. He said once you get past a certain age, you ain't single. You single after that certain age. But y'all can go. We can go round and round. And I didn't have the YouTube stream up. If somebody super chatted while I was reading the super chats in the analytics, I didn't see that. So I think Zero sent a fresh one right there. He said single mothers make the best wives. Most cult leaders approve. All right. Yeah, we can go around the room. I guess we'll start with Game Changer. Difference between submission and cooperation per Obsidian's question. Go ahead.
So cooperation is when you work together to complete a task. Submission is when you accept the leadership of one over the other. So say if the task is cleaning the garage, and both of you are cleaning the garage. However, she's doing it. It's the difference between is she's doing it because you told her that it needs to be done, versus you both come together and say, okay, we're going to cooperate because we both want this garage cleaned. It's a subtle difference because at the end of the day, the garage still get cleaned. However, it's the reason why the submissive person is doing it. That's the difference.
Truth, you got anything to add to that?
No, not really. I mean, there's probably 1,000 ways to dice it, so I don't really have much on that.
All right, fantastic. You want to do anything with that as we check out?
Nah, man, GC wrapped it up perfectly, man. Make sure y'all pull up on me and Jessica Extra Day at 5. The difference between American blacks versus UK blacks, or is there any? Appreciate you, Bernard.
All right, man. Appreciate you. We always have fire one-on-ones whenever we get together. These are our highest views for all our one-on-ones, man. We was up in the six range, man. I saw like 660. So yeah, this is definitely been going down. I'd like to thank everybody who came through today, everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, sent cash app, super chats, all of that good stuff. Appreciate every last single one of you, man. Appreciate all of it. Channel been growing like crazy. And with that said, fellas, we are out of here. Peace. And now I gotta find the damn in stream button. There we go.